As well start this show since I said I was going to do it at 11:10, right? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. This is Monkey in the Morning. I'm Monkey. He's Jack. Say hi, Jack.
Hi, everybody.
Jack, how you doing this evening?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm I was much better yesterday. There's a lot of people who assume that I took yesterday off because I was sick or hurt or whatever. And the truth is, I had a good day yesterday. And I decided, you know what? I'm just going to play some video games and listen to some music and take an honest to God night off. Just not because, I got things to do tomorrow or any of that. Just a night to myself. And so that's why we weren't here yesterday. And my body's like, hey, fucker, you felt good yesterday, did you? Let's see how that does today.
Well, that's the price you pay being, all janky and broken.
Yeah, I know. It's the price that comes with being a cripple. I didn't read the fine print when I decided to do this.
Yeah, see, you got to read the little print. That it's like getting a car. You got a lemon, and that's on you.
Yeah, it's my bad. I'll pay better attention next time. But yeah, these things happen.
It's reading a lot, I don't know.
There also may be times where I need you to just take over for a minute. Lots of coughing. I'm pretty sure my son got me sick.
Is it the COVID?
I don't think it's the COVID. I think it's just like a chest cold kind of thing.
Yeah. I swallowed something wrong earlier while I was driving my sister home, and she looked at me when I was coughing like twice, and she's like, "You got the COVID?" I was like, "No," and she's like, "Sure."
Sounds like the COVID. You know what? It might have been a long COVID.
Yeah, I might have caught the long COVID. Which does that make you COVID flexible or by COVID?
I think you can be by COVID. I don't know if you can be COVID flexible. I'm not up on my my pan COVIDness.
Yeah, I can't keep up with all the terms the kids use.
Speaking of which, my cousin finally got blocked by Taylor Lorenz. I'm surprised it took this long.
I think we're all surprised it took this long.
It's not like he hasn't been fucking with her mercifully. Fuck it, without mercy.
Mercilessly?
Without mercy. See, that works. I know how to use words.
Do you?
I do. Just not all of them.
You say that a lot. I don't think that means what you think it means.
I just because I can't use all of them doesn't mean I can't use them.
Oh, well, yeah. Does using them to build like Lego sets count?
I mean, it can.
Oh,
it depends on how you do it. No, dumbass Taylor Lorenz, she posted about long COVID. And once again, she is so upset, you guys. She is so distraught that she can't go and do things. She can't. They will not bend the world to her will because she has the long COVID. She doesn't have long COVID. I'm just going to say that. And she made this post about it again. And I told her, like, look, I believe in long COVID. I really do. I just don't believe you have it.
How dare you? Personal attack.
This is a woman we saw go on national television. She went on MSNBC and was like, oh my God, all of these things, they doxed me and they're so mean to me online and, fake crying. And then days later went and harassed somebody's family and doxed them. I just don't believe her. She's a fucking horrible person.
No, her having the long COVID, that's a shield. She's allowed to use that as needed. You're just a bigot. She also suffers from ASMR and OSHA.
I had heard she picked up the OSHA, and I was sorry to hear it. I really was.
I think we all were, Monkey. That's a rough one because then you have people come in and tell you can't do stuff and not to drive the forklift that way. You're going to kill people. Blah blah blah.
Dangerous. No. He said, "Are you suggesting Taylor Lorenz might lie?" No, I'm flat out saying the bitch lies. I don't want there to be any confusion about that. That bitch lies. And then she turned around and blamed the person who did the interview. She's
that horrible. Was really shitty.
She's a horrible person. She really is. And you can block me all you want, but I can still go into incognito mode and read the stupid shit you say from time to time. I'll forget to because now that I'm blocked, if I'm being honest, Jack, I will forget she even exists.
Yeah, because unless she makes the news again for doing something extra special dumb,
Yeah.
she's not really worth the time. She's not that funny of a lol cow.
She's got COVID.
COVID myalgia.
There you go. Whichever way you want to say it works. Oh, dear God. Speaking of stupid, Biden was in the news today.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, we gotta talk about that a little bit.
Oh, hey, real quick before we do, there was a donation from Keldrick that I missed on my show yesterday.
Oh, okay.
And he's probably here or going to be. Thank you, Keldrick. I always knew my dad as a teacher disliked the teachers union, but I was talking to my mom while he was out of town on a hunting trip with my grandpa. Apparently, my dad doesn't just dislike the union, he fucking hates it. Yeah, I don't blame him. I've been in and around the teachers union, working as a teacher and all that, as a sub, and they're garbage. They don't really do anything productive.
Before we get on to the main topic of the evening, you wanna tell the people where they can find your show from yesterday?
No, it's a secret. Yeah, I'll drop a link to the show actually because it was pretty fun. Oh, thank you, Frosted Glass. I know how Taylor feels. I just caught the short COVID and it feels really. Oh, it's gone now. Never mind.
Oh, damn! I'm glad it passed. I really am.
Yeah. The extra short COVID. Is that what you caught?
I've got the intermittent COVID.
Oh, I had just the regular COVID. I feel like I may have just been the boring average person.
I have the COVID that comes and goes as I need it to. Just like Taylor Lorenz. Do you know why she's claiming all this?
Because she's dumb.
No, it's because she wants people to wear masks. That's it. So you guys have to wear masks because she has the long COVID. It's such a fucking stupid thing. Oh my God, it's annoying. But anyway, guys, there's the link. Did you make sure to drop that over on the
do it right now
there
on
we
the
go.
Rumble machine.
Hi, how you doing over there, Brand? Hope you're well. Guys, we are on Rumble. It's in the link below. We're also on YouTube. And yeah, there you go. That's where we're at. Find us there. Hit the like button, hit the Rumble button. Tell your friends, your family that bitch you hate. Get them here watching the show because why wouldn't you want to spread us like gonorrhea?
At a 1970s rave.
Spread us like AOC spread gonorrhea at her bar.
Oh, spread us like the dementia Ron Jeremy claims to have.
There you go. Just spread us.
That's wildly inappropriate.
Spread us like a high school girl on prom.
You know what Ron Jeremy's in trouble for, right?
Oh yeah. And he's got the dementia now. I saw. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, donate to us too.
Speaking of that,
please don't take the likes back for all of those different spreads. Please. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Jack.
Jesus. Thank you, Travis Gardner. So you had a whole stream about gas ranges without the appliance man being able to watch. Yeah, the irony is astonishing, but it was only like the first 10 minutes was about that. Well, it was probably 20 minutes in because I was rambling for a while there. But yeah, the irony is not lost on me, dude.
The whole gas thing?
Yeah. The gas stoves.
Yeah, Biden was in the news for a couple of reasons. We might as well touch on that one real fast for those of you who missed it. The White House or Biden, I'm not sure which, they want to get rid of gas stoves. But because of reasons. What is it, the CO2 from burning the gas?
It supposedly releases chemicals or something in the air because of the way it's done. I don't know. It sounded like a bunch of scaremongering.
It is. It's all it is.
Like if you're a professional chef, that might apply, or you're constantly around a stove that's running. But I don't know. They didn't really show much evidence that the average person is really going to be affected by this.
Well, their real issue is natural gas is what they want to get rid of because you got to drill for that. You got to sell that on the open market, Jack, and we can't have that because,
Yeah, it just looks like it's an attack on yet another fossil fuel.
It is.
That they want to get rid of and make us all live off solar panels so we all freeze to death in the winter.
Yep, that's all it is. That's all it is. Natural gas is one of the cleanest ways to like heat your house. Look, I do not go in for that. This argument was already on Twitter today, and I'm not having it again. I had it with Satsu one night. Yeah, you get a better cook when you're using the natural. Shut the fuck up. It's not like if you cook something on your electric stove, it's like going to be all fucked up like you cooked it in a microwave or something. But the whole idea that we need to get rid of it because, and if we're going to be honest, it's because of the global warming nonsense. Shut the fuck up. That's dumb. Thank you, Frank Hubbard. If it was gas stoves, wouldn't it be 90% of people? It'd be a lot of people. Yeah. I don't know the exact breakdown of who has which kind of stove, but I hear you. I hear you.
Oh, maybe we should all start, cooking over poop fires like they do in really, really dirt poor countries.
Yeah, we can do that, man.
Because that won't kill you.
That'll smell good too.
Yeah, like they want us living like the Amish.
None smells better than poop burning.
I guess.
Except maybe hair burning.
Well, they're probably opposed to that too because it's patriarchy or something.
You know what really stinks when it burns? Fingernails.
Oh, I was gonna go with witches.
I had a fingernail that I had to cut one time, and I just threw it into the ashtray, and then I had a cigarette a little while later. I'm like, "Fuck is that stink?" Yeah, it was that burning. Excuse me, sorry, trying to catch my breath there. Don't burn your fingernails, ladies and gentlemen. That's the point of all that.
Witches, however.
Well, witches, you know what's great? Oh my God, I'm gonna die on stream tonight.
I hope not.
You know what's great about witches?
Watching.
There's several ways to get rid of witches, and that's very nice of them to give us so many different options.
Yeah.
You can burn them, drown them, throw them against a wall real hard. Yes.
Febreze, not very effective. I've discovered.
Yeah, it doesn't work too well. All right, let's get on to. What's up, P-Dog? How you doing, my friend? Thank you so much for dropping by. He dropped a link or dropped a like and just said hi, guys. If you're not following P-Dog Night, make sure you're doing so on YouTube and on Rumble. It's the P-Dog Night channel. Joseph R. Biden, which I'm fairly certain the R stands for retard.
Oh yeah, wow, that you can't spell helmet without retard.
And Jack, there was a big hubbub recently about Donald Trump having top secret information at Mar-a-Lago. You might have heard.
Oh, that monster.
You might have heard a story or two about it. One or two.
Just a couple, yeah. It was very quick in the news.
You may have seen the FBI actually raid the Mar-a-Lago compound to get it back and go through all of his shit. Like you do.
Yeah, that's what the FBI does, right?
Yeah, they sure as hell don't stop child porn on social media.
No, they have bigger fish to fry, monkey.
Yeah, they really do. They got to go get Trump's. I don't know. Anyway, they made a huge deal of this, and even at the time, we pointed out, we know this happened. We know that this happened with Obama.
Yeah. And Hillary, of course.
Ricada will be visiting my channel tomorrow afternoon. Also, 4-year anniversary show on Friday. I'll toss you links in case you're awake. Yeah, if I'm awake, I'll come hang out. That was to you too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't guarantee I'll be awake.
And if I'm awake when Ricada's on, I'll check that out too. Look, I watch Dog when I'm awake. I don't always talk in there.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they made all this big fucking deal about Trump. They ignored the fucking fact that I got to stop real quick. We got to do this real quick, Jack.
Uh-oh.
Apparently I say fuck too much.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
I mean, what?
We say fuck way too much around here. And
this wee stuff. I'm a good church going boy.
The new YouTube rules came down and we had it wrong. We said if you said any of the really bad words in the first 8 seconds, that's not true. It's the first 7 seconds.
Oh, well, shit. That changes everything.
So we got to be careful with how much we say fuck and I guess cocksucker and twat. We still can't say the C word because that one's been banned forever. So we got to be careful.
Retard? Can we say
got to be careful. Just a heads up. I'm not gonna be, but we really should be trying to be.
Probably.
Yeah, fuck that. Anyhow, so all of this big hubbub made over the Trump raid, all of it. Oh my God, he took these classified documents, many of which were just like personal letters to him, like the one from Kim Jong-un.
Yeah.
It was a personal letter and it had nothing to do with anything top secret or any, but it's classified. They gave it to Stamp Jack. I don't have a good stamp sound.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, it turns out that Joseph Retard Biden has some classified documents.
What?
Yeah. At his what is it, Penn Biden Center there at Penn, is it Penn State or the University of Pennsylvania? I forget.
Yeah, it's one of the branches that's in DC.
Yeah.
I think it's University of Pennsylvania.
These are his vice presidential documents that they just happened to find some classified documents in.
Yeah.
7 months ago.
Yeah, but we couldn't tell you that because there's an election coming. I mean, because, it was properly reported.
Oh, sure it was. When was the Mar-a-Lago raid?
It's a mystery. It was so fleeting in the news.
Scarfy, thank you so much. I voted to replace Groomer with Diddler. Or sorry, I vote to replace Groomer with Diddler. Let's see them put that on a shirt. They will. So you say that like they'd be ashamed of it. Let's see.
They're getting brave.
Mar-a-Lago raid. I spelled Mar-a-Lago raid or Mar-a-Lago wrong. Yeah, that was in September.
Weird. Total coincidence, monkey.
Nothing. Total coincidence. I have so many questions. I really do. Like, for instance, they tell us that his lawyers found this. Why were his lawyers going through these papers right now? It seems a weird thing for these papers that are just put away, mostly for posterity. But for some reason, his lawyers just happened to be going through them and found classified documents.
Apparently this was in a closet at an office he used. And since he no longer works there, he had left a bunch of stuff behind, I guess. Because like a lot of the articles said that the classified here's one I'm looking at right now.
Sure.
One of Biden's attorneys discovered the classified documents while assisting with closing a private office Biden used at the Penn Biden Center.
So you're telling me, hang on, take over.
Yeah, sources told CNN that President Biden was unaware classified documents were in his private office and reportedly remains unaware of the content of the documents. Daily Wire reported that the White House has attempted to limit any possible fallout over the discovery and is downplaying the importance of documents, Daily Wire, depicting them as not particularly sensitive and not a high interest to the intelligence community. That doesn't excuse it. Personal letters from love letters from Kim Jong-un to President Trump were apparently a massive security breach, and there's the nuclear codes that were never there. But this is the nothing burger right wingers. According to Sauber, the documents are currently at the National Archives. He reported the documents were discovered when the president's personal attorneys were packing files housed in a locked closet to prepare to vacate office space at the Penn Biden Center in Washington, D.C. The president periodically used the space from mid-2017 until the start of the 2020 campaign. Periodically, so these were unattended. On the day of the discovery, November 2nd, 2022, the White House counsel's office notified the National Archives. Archives took possession of the materials the following morning. Oh, it's a critical thing when documents are left unattended, but they can wait till the morning.
My intermittent COVID kicked in again. I took a drink and my lungs went, don't do that. I don't know. Unfortunately, that'll probably be something throughout the show, Jack.
Yeah, that happens.
But anyway, yeah, to this, okay. They're telling me, okay, they packed up the office, and that's what made it so he noticed these things, right? But when they packed up the vice president's papers, they didn't notice it.
Apparently, that's when they found it, was when they were leaving the office.
No,
Oh,
no,
you
no.
mean before that?
I mean when they packed it up from the vice president's residency or wherever it was that these originally came from.
Oh, look, your hate facts have no place here, bigot.
Now, I will say that we're going to watch a Tucker Carlson segment. I've really been enjoying watching videos lately, Jack.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of fun.
It is
less work too.
It's a lot less work. Now I see why these guys all do it. Shit, I need better internet so we can do this more often.
I keep telling you to move.
I know. I didn't win the lottery though.
That's whose fault is that?
Whoever drew the numbers and didn't pick mine.
No, obviously it's a failing of yours morally.
It's Joe Biden. Most of these documents are going to be nonsense. It shouldn't be classified anyway. And I'm getting ahead of the Joe Biden thing, or the Tucker thing, but we've talked about this before. So much of what our government keeps secret from us doesn't need to be kept secret. In fact, some of it should be told to us. And I don't want to get too far ahead of the Tucker thing here, but so I'm not really thinking, like Joe Biden needs to go to prison for this. I don't care, to be honest, in that regard.
It'd be more like the bribery in Ukraine.
The problem that I see is, or at least the biggest problem right now, until we learn a little bit more about this, is the way that like the press and the Democrats have been handled. Oh, it's not a big deal. Hey, it's not the same. I actually saw an article. What's the difference between the Trump and the Biden one? Biden is a Democrat.
He's also VP and can't possibly in any feasible legal way declassify any documents.
Nope. Where Trump can say, hey, I declassified all that stuff, Biden doesn't have that fallback.
Yeah.
Because the vice president doesn't have that power. But anyway, let's jump into Tucker, shall we?
Sure.
And we're going to watch that video you sent me earlier, too. Don't let me forget to show that tonight, because dear God. And then
I've had that for like 2 weeks.
We have a video of a woman who just can't figure out how to make ends meet with $120,000. There's a lot of stuff going on tonight.
Yeah, it's stupid.
And I didn't realize this, but AP covered that woman yesterday. I mentioned to him on Twitter, we were talking about him. I hope to see this woman on your show. And I did it yesterday. I was off the internet all day yesterday, so I missed it. So I'm gonna have to go see his version of what goes on with her. But we'll get to her in a minute. First, let's jump into Tucker Carlson tonight, shall we?
Indeed.
And welcome to Tucker Carlson.
How's the volume? That sounds loud as shit.
It's fine, actually.
Maybe I have my volume. Yeah, I had my volume up too loud. There we go. Here we go.
Tonight, they always accuse you of the very things they're doing themselves. If there's one rule you can keep on your fridge, write it down, put it in your wallet to evaluate the behavior of the people in charge, it's that.
True story. And for the record, I wouldn't just say the people in charge, because yeah, Republicans do it, blah, blah, blah. But if you argue with liberals, progressives, Democrats, whatever you want to fucking call them, this happens so often. So very often of them blaming you for what they're doing. Keep in mind that 7 months ago thing. What does that put it at, Jack? That's about July, right?
I didn't realize we were going to do story problems.
They find these in July, maybe August, and the press could have known about this. The National Archives didn't run to the press like they did with the Trump papers. Isn't that weird? Isn't that odd?
Nothing to see here.
They blame you for their sins every single time. The latest example arrived this week when we learned that Joe Biden, fresh from lecturing us about how Donald Trump is a criminal because he had unauthorized possession of secret documents.
One of the reasons I want to watch this is he has a lot of other clips in here, which makes our job easier.
Yeah.
I like Tucker, okay, but his actual comment, see, I'm even stopping to comment on his commentary. That's not what's important to me. I like that he has the other clips that I want to address.
It's convenient, isn't it?
It's convenient is what it is. Thank you, Tucker.
That very same Joe Biden himself had unauthorized possession of secret documents. But don't worry, it's not a big deal. Unlike you and that despicably orange Donald Trump, Joe Biden is a good person.
Except he's really not. Do we have any examples of Joe Biden actually being a good person? And I do get that he's being facetious here, but seriously, anything? Is it?
He's from Scranton.
I guess, and his granddad did some stuff according to him, and his daddy did some stuff. What the fuck has Joe Biden ever done that to help society?
He fought at the beaches of Normandy. How dare you?
Oh, he did get that assault weapons ban, which fixed everything.
Yeah, he locked a lot of black people up. I mean,
he did.
What?
He did. Do you remember when the assault weapons ban got rid of all of the murder in the world?
It solved all of the country's problems, including
did.
any potential food shortages you may or may not have noticed at your local grocery store. Don't try and buy aluminum foil right now.
Joe Biden is so virtuous, he has transcended temporal law. It's not a crime when he does it. So that's the frustratingly familiar headline from this week's story, which you've probably seen by now.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not just on this. They let him get away with the lying thing is probably the biggest one for me, Jack. You know, throughout the election, Trump's a liar, Trump's a liar, Trump's a liar. Like, have you met Joe Biden? People who support Joe Biden and part of their reason is, oh, Trump's a liar. They should literally catch fire. They should be hit by lightning.
Well, I am often amazed at how well Joe can speak with his pants on fire.
That's true.
But the details of the story are actually pretty interesting. So a week before these last midterm elections, Joe Biden's lawyers were for some reason rooting around in a locked closet in the Washington office.
Now, see, that I didn't know what from that story of yours, Jack, that they were emptying it. I don't know if Tucker's people didn't know that part of the story either, because that at least does give an explanation for why the lawyers were going through the shit.
Yeah.
Although it is kind of weird that they were going through it to empty it out.
It's possible that somebody was just being nosy.
It's weird still that they were going through it instead of just like, okay, it's in this box, take the box. Why were they sorting through all of this shit, leaving that office?
I have a theory about that, actually.
Yeah?
People that suffer from dementia tend to get kind of sloppy. So it's possible it was just a stack of papers. And they were like, what is all this shit? Can we throw this away? And they were like going through it to see if it was like old mail and other random stuff. It was probably just a potpourri of stuff that he had thrown in there. Well, because he's, slowing down.
Unless he was going through those boxes, they should have been packed up the same way they were when they left the vice president's mansion.
Well, that's what I'm saying is I think somewhere along the line, somebody wanted to, like Joe was probably going through them and just tossed them in the closet. There was no box involved anymore after that.
That doesn't know.
The rumor is that some of these had to do with Ukraine, and it would make sense if they were Khashoggi related.
Yeah, we'll get to that later in the broadcast here. I have a feeling that this was done because they knew that they were in there and that they knew they had to get rid of it.
I'd be willing to bet there were a lot more papers that went magically disappeared.
Yep. That, hey, we found 10 top secret documents.
As opposed to the other 60 we burned. I mean...
Yeah.
office of something called the Penn Biden Center for Diplomacy.
Which, by the way, it is nice to see Democrats become so trusting when they say it's 10 documents.
Yeah, well, I mean, why wouldn't you believe Honest Joe? He's from Scranton, you know.
He from Scranton.
His dad was like, love is love, Joey.
He was raised Puerto Rican, so you got to trust him.
His politics were Puerto Rican, indeed.
Diplomacy and global engagement. And while in that locked closet, Biden's lawyers found a sheaf of highly classified government documents. So the first question here is, why were Joe Biden's lawyers doing this in the first place?
Yep.
And we can't say for sure because they haven't told us, but it is weird. Lawyers don't typically search locked closets. Yours probably don't. But Biden's lawyers did. And
it is weird for lawyers to, his attorneys did this.
My attorney's kind of nosy, so I could see him doing it, but he loves a mystery. So I don't know.
Whose attorneys go rifling through their shit?
Ones that are told to.
Yeah.
Go in there and pull anything out. We still haven't gotten any disclosures from his S corporation, Biden's. So I'm willing to bet there's a lot of other stuff at other locations that got disposed of too.
Sure.
But there had to be something they were looking for specifically in this case. And they just took everything else and were like, let's just drop these off at the archives and move on with our day.
Devil's Advocate says checking for liabilities, and Faithless says handlers. Yeah, I hear you guys. There's good explanations for it. None that make Joe look good.
Yeah, I think that's probably the problem.
It's just so weird. And this is what I keep getting hung up on, is those lawyers doing it. Anyway.
And we guess they did because they understood that Republicans were about to win back the House, and with it, congressional subpoena power. So they were likely conducting a cleanup operation preemptively, trying to get a...
No, they'd never do that. Come on.
Tucker, you conspiracy theorist.
Now, the only reason for them to do that, because of the House going back to the Republicans, is Hunter. We don't have any other reason why they'd be looking for personal papers from Biden.
Look, Hunter's the smartest man Joe knows. He's a good boy, didn't do nothing. He's just an honest, hardworking fellow like Joe himself, who's from Scranton, by the way.
From Scranton.
Yeah, and love is love, Joey.
The idea that they sent lawyers in there to clean up because they thought maybe there would be subpoenas coming saying, hey, we want everything you have from Ukraine and China. That makes sense. Doesn't make Joe look good, though. And especially doesn't make it look good that he had classified documents. Anyway.
Ahead of a scandal they knew was coming. And of course, they hid what they found in that closet until after the midterm elections because there's no...
Yep. And isn't the timing of this really weird? This came out, what, yesterday?
Yeah. But it makes sense because the Republicans just announced they're doing some investigations, and then this suddenly comes out.
It almost seems like they're going, here, we have this stuff. No need to subpoena it. We already turned it over. Nothing else to see here. Don't look any deeper.
Please stop looking at us. We didn't do nothing.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
This might be some lawyer covering their ass too, like so they know that they don't have to lie under oath. Then they could just tell a bunch of like half truths and get away with it.
Pyra said this might be one of the most corrupt administrations in American history, and the bastard is going to get away with it. Yeah, yes, and
of course,
it's definitely up there. Definitely up there.
Yeah, and they'll get away with it because the media doesn't give a shit, and most of the people at the DOJ are on the side of the perpetrators.
They could have him dead to rights on this, on all of this corruption shit, and there's just not going to be the political will in the Senate to get rid of him.
Nope. Which means it's going to encourage more people to do it later down the line.
Voters too much with information. So there's that. And then there's the question of the so-called Penn Biden Center at the University of Pennsylvania. What is that exactly? The whole idea of an academic Biden Center is pretty funny.
Yeah, it's weird that you'd have any kind of educational system with Biden's name on it.
Well, he's got 3 degrees, monkey.
He's got them 3 degrees. Motherfucker barely managed to even graduate. And then, I mean,
I feel represented.
I guess. I suppose so.
Joe Biden is a moron. He's always been a moron, even before the dementia.
Excuse me. He's a retard.
I don't think you're allowed to use that word on the air at Fox.
Oh,
very lefty.
Right. Fair enough.
For decades in Washington, ask anyone who lived there, Biden was famous as the dumbest member of the Senate. People made jokes about it.
All right. That's funny, but it's also true.
Yeah.
And this is what they used to have to do. They used to have to call him Crazy Joe. Oh, Crazy Uncle Joe. Because this motherfucker, every time he opened his mouth, would get himself in trouble. The Obama administration hid this motherfucker for 8 years. They only let him out for the second vice presidential debate.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the second term. It's the only time they let him out, because every time he opened his goddamn mouth, he would embarrass them.
Yeah, he's a gaff machine.
He's a fucking idiot. And he's always been a fucking idiot. But they played him up like he's Crazy Joe. He's a good guy. They even stopped calling him Crazy Uncle Joe throughout the campaign here in 2020. None of his fuck-ups were on television where they used to be all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that 7-Eleven comment, Jesus Christ. Sorry, it was a convenience store is what he said. Yeah. You can't go into a convenience store without having an accent.
Yeah, he's a little bit of a racist.
He's a big racist. Now, look, I don't think he hates people of other colors.
No,
he's just that old school racist that where it's all stereotypes all the time.
Yeah, he just lives in a much different time where that sort of casual, inappropriate comment was acceptable, and now it's a horrifying thing to the younger people. But in our day, it was just like, you're silly.
So why would an Ivy League university name a think tank after a man who can't think and then pay?
I love Tucker. Can I just throw that out there? Why would you name a think tank after a man who can't think? That's brilliant, actually.
Him nearly $1 million a year for not doing anything. Good question. We'll have more on that in just a minute. But first, a word about classified documents. Now, this is not a partisan point, not attacking anybody. It's just the truth. These people you see on television huffing and puffing about vital...
For the record, here's where he's going to get into what I was saying earlier. And I agree with him on this. Most of what is classified should not be. Unless it's putting some of our assets in danger or it's very vital to something like military strikes or something. There's no reason for it to all be secret. The fact that all of this shit has to be subpoenaed all the time is disturbing.
Vital state secrets on both sides, by the way, not just Democrats, everybody. Vital state secrets. They're either lying or they don't really understand how Washington works. How many legitimate vital state secrets are there? Well, actually, not very many at all. In a democracy, the government has no right to hide what it's doing from the public.
I hear you. I do. Unfortunately, that's not how the real world works. And people are so goddamn stupid, they get all up in their own ass about this shit. Like, oh my God, it's our state secrets. It's putting people in jeopardy. Bullshit. Bullshit. There is literally no reason for like all of the files on, and I don't mean to get into the Pfizer stuff, but the Pfizer stuff where it's all locked down, no reason for that. Zero. We should know what went on there. No, we got to have that secret. That's nope. Hey, Hyman, how you doing, man?
What's up, Hyman?
Except under extraordinary circumstances. It's fine to classify the Normandy invasion until it happens. It is not fine to spend 60 years hiding the fact that the CIA was involved in the murder of a president.
This is another reason.
The CIA to kill you.
Yeah, well, yeah. Originally, what was it? 80 years that stuff was getting locked down, something like that. When they go through all the Kennedy stuff right after his assassination, they're like, we're going to lock all these away until anybody who could possibly be involved is dead.
Yeah. And then they extended it beyond that, didn't they?
And it wasn't until, who was it, Trump that first was like, yeah, we'll let it out. And a judge was like, yeah. Was it a judge who told him to do it, or was it Trump first? I forget which.
I don't remember, but it was right around the time he got impeached, wasn't it?
Yeah, somewhere around there. And there was no reason for the stuff to ever be classified. We should know that. It's the murder of the president of the United States. We're gonna hide that shit. Why?
But Monkey, he wanted to defund the CIA.
Well, shh.
I mean,
by the way, just a reminder, we're very happy at this show.
We are very happy, and I am okay with the CIA. Don't.
I think they're a bunch of shitbags, but I am still happy.
No, you're wrong, Monkey. They are fine, upstanding patriots who didn't do nothing, and were definitely not involved in the death of Michael Hastings.
They've never been involved in the death of any American. What are you talking about?
Right.
Yeah. I don't know why you'd even suggest such a thing.
It's a conspiracy theory by the right wing. Stupid idiots.
Idiot dumbasses.
Hiding your involvement in the Kennedy assassination is not a national security precaution. It is
if you're trying to keep yourselves from going to jail. You see, let me explain it to you, Tucker. The people who were involved in the CIA in the killing of the president of the United States, they were vital to national security in other ways. So them killing the president, yeah, that's bad. That's bad. But imagine all the lives they saved by, killing people in other countries.
Imagine all the jobs they've saved by not getting shut down by this. I mean, look, a bird.
Look, yeah. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see. This stuff just pisses me off, especially with all the secrecy. We shouldn't be this secret. This is why I say every member of Congress, and this goes for the administration too, they should all have to wear body cams all the time. Because I don't trust them not to be like, oh no, that was on my own time when I, sold you guys out.
criminal behavior. And it's made possible by a classification regime that was designed not to protect this country, but to protect and enrich our permanent political class, which it very efficiently does. Oh, but our enemies, screeched the morons on TV. If we declassify these documents, whatever they are, if we do that, our enemies will learn our secrets.
Yeah, can somebody explain to me what secrets our enemies might have learned from finding out that the CIA was involved in killing the president of the United States? That wasn't to protect us from our enemies. That was to protect them from the citizens.
No, the Ruskies may have used that disinformation on a leaflet campaign that reached like 5 people.
Look at what's happened, Jack. It's come out that the CIA, whether they were actually involved in the shooting or not, they were deeply involved with Oswald, something that had been denied forever. Yeah, no, he's not one of ours. He absolutely was.
Yeah, that was a conspiracy theory for a long time, but it's so obvious.
And what happens? This news comes out, and it made the papers for a day. Did the citizens get all up in arms because the CIA killed the fucking president? Nope. Everybody just went about their business and started bitching about whatever the next big thing was. It trended for a day on Twitter. JFK was up there. And now nobody cares. They murdered the president of the United States. And nobody cares. They're all too busy out there bitching about top secret documents at Mar-a-Lago and Penn. Anyhow, no reason for anybody to worry about any of this stuff. Look away. You're a plebe. You don't deserve to know any of this stuff.
Dare you think that you have a right to know something?
Please. China already knows our secrets, all of our secrets. The Chinese government has hacked every agency in Washington, and everybody knows that, and nobody seems to care.
True.
They don't care because half of them are on the take.
No. Tucker, you got it wrong. It's not the Chinese. It's the Russians. Even when we're pretty sure it was the Chinese, it's always the Russians. Always. For real. That's what they always tell us. Remember when Trump tried bringing attention to the Chinese and all their bullshit dealings? What'd they say? Oh, no. You see, it's really the Russians, or it's really, the damn Russians. Fuck, it's the Russians. Always the Russians.
The administration cares so little, in fact, it just suspended a counter-espionage program designed to stop Chinese spying.
The one that Trump put in place. And they're like, no. See, we're not actually getting rid of it. What we're going to do is we're going to have it cover Iran and, of course, the Russians. Damn Ruskies. I expect any day now to hear that we put together a program to make a Rocky Balboa.
I fully expect we're going to hear how the Russians planted that folder in Joe's office.
In other words, the Chinese can know, but you can't know. Biden trusts Beijing more than he trusts you. So the media's job, its only job, really, is to push back against attitudes like that and to seek the truth.
No, Tucker. That's what it should be. It should be to seek the truth. The media's only job, at least in America, is propaganda 24/7. Literally, Jack, they have 24/7 TV channels.
Yeah.
Reporters are the people who are paid, who for a living find out what your government is doing and then tell you about it. So
no. Once again, in a perfect world, maybe. In this world, what they do is tell you what Trump did last night.
Democracy can continue, but there are very few of those left. Julian Assange is in prison for his efforts. Ed Snowden lives in exile. And the news organizations that remain are so thoroughly controlled by government agencies that even the suggestion of more public transparency drives them to hysteria.
Well, let's talk about this for a second, Jack. There was a good article today. Who is it from? Shit, I can't remember. But they were talking about the media and how they control everything. That's what they do. They control the narrative. They control the propaganda. And if you look at it in regards to Twitter, there's a lot of the people who used to be on Twitter like all the time. Ben Collins, for example. Ben Collins, all he does now is retweet other stuff. He doesn't put his own stuff on there. He's over on Mastodon and Post. And the reason for that is Elon bought out Twitter, and they can no longer control what is done on Twitter. So now what they have to do is minimize it. It's got to go away, you see. It can't be a platform people use anymore for any kind of spreading of news, which is what they saw themselves as doing on Twitter, Jack.
Mm-hmm.
It was horribly important during the elections. It really was. Tons of people like to minimize what Twitter does, but it really is. Lots of people get their news from there, whether it's a side link or, alternative media, whichever it happens to be. The media just wants to control the narrative in a way that pushes the ideology they have. And that goes for Fox News too. We don't have very many news outlets, and certainly no big news outlets, whose goal is to get to the truth. We just don't have them. Real quick, it's Moonshock's wife's birthday, and apparently Sun is what we should call her.
Yes.
Sun, it's your birthday, and this is for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear son. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Hope you had a good one. Sorry, it looks like Tucker's blowing out your candles here. I didn't mean to do that.
Oh, that's a smoochy face. He's like,
He's got his lips parted. That's going to be some tongue, man. That's some Joe Biden kissing.
It's birthday kisses.
Nobody wants that. Ew.
So, hey, who wants birthday kisses?
Did you ever have an aunt or an uncle who did something that was like really annoying when you saw them? Like mine, we had the fucking aunts who would pinch your cheeks.
Yeah, we had like one of those, but she died pretty early on in my life. Mostly that we had the kissers that would try and kiss you, and they were like slobbery old people.
See, we never got slobbered on. We had the two of them, and I would just avoid them because I have chubby cheeks, Jack, and she pinched not just a little. Oh, you got pinch the fuck out of him like she was trying to hurt me. Anyhow,
watch CNN and MSNBC, for example, react to the news that Republicans in Congress might tell us some of what the thoroughly corrupt intel community has been doing in our name.
A House committee where Republicans can shred at the integrity of the federal government and tell America that your government is spying on you and coming after you. That is at the heart of this tear down, break down the government. We can't trust the government. We're going to topple it.
Time out.
What?
Go ahead.
Isn't this exactly what CNN and MSNBC and the others said during like the Patriot Act era?
Oh yeah.
And they were right because the government is spying on us and like wholeheartedly recording everything you say online.
We know the government is doing this. We know it. It's not even a fucking question at this point. There's no question about it. And he's like, oh, what's your government? What's your government? No. What the intelligence community is doing. It's them. You can still support Congress and having a president and all of that without having to have the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, the Department of Homeland Security. Who else is involved? ICE, Border Patrol. Remember, they get these guys involved when there's certain situations, not necessarily, illegal related, Jack. You have all of these Secret Service, the IRS. What other government groups do we have to do this shit? Hell, even the Department of Education has gotten involved in this kind of shit. We don't need all of this. You don't need government to have all of this.
Look, just because the Department of Education has a SWAT team, I think you're overreacting.
They're trying to undermine your faith in government. No. They're trying to point out that there are aspects of government agencies that are corrupt as shit and they are misusing their resources and their power. But notice how he says it. We're gonna go back just a little. Listen to this all. Oh, they're trying to just government.
Federal government and tell America that your government is spying on you and coming after you. That is at the heart of this tear down, break down the government. We can't trust the government. We're going to topple it.
Notice what he didn't say there. CIA, FBI, NSA. None of those were mentioned. Just government. It's all government. No, there's differences, you little asshole.
Look, there is no difference between Honest Joe from Scranton and the ATF that murdered a bunch of people at Waco. They're all good people, didn't do nothing.
How many times does the FBI have to get away with this shit? How many times does the CIA have to do it?
The FBI will always get away with it, monkey. No one's going to go against them.
Evolved S, are they wrong, though? No, they're not. They're not wrong in pointing this stuff out. But look, there's a difference from having a working federal government and having the CIA. You don't need the CIA to have a working federal government.
Apparently you do, comrade.
You really don't. You really don't.
That's dangerous talk. That sounds very much like a unhappy dissident kind of talk.
Right.
Have fun and Gitmo.
That is at the heart of this tear down, break down the government. We can't trust the government. We're going to topple it. He just gave them.
What?
You know who told me that you shouldn't trust the government? The founding fathers.
Yeah. Topple the government.
Nobody has said we should topple the government.
No. What Congress is doing has nothing to do with toppling the government. In fact, if I remember correctly, Congress is part of the government.
Yeah, and
yeah.
They're trying to save the republic as opposed to overthrow anything. That's a bad plan.
Them a committee platform to have those hearings, and you better believe that is going to be heroin in the veins of Fox News viewers over the next 2 years.
Basically, it's going to be heroin in the veins of Fox News viewers.
I mean, Fox News that has continued to go left of center for the past 5 years.
Yeah, I would recommend you watch it on C-SPAN to begin with, but
yeah,
they're not going to have some crazy loon up there. They're going to be calling forth people who were in the fucking Intelligence Committee who were part of this. It's googly-eyed penis. We got to listen to him for a second. Just for a moment. Oh, what's going on with Eagle?
He's talking about his cancer.
Oh, okay.
They're establishing a subcommittee, or
I mean, I'm sorry you had cancer.
Yeah, dude. You know we're sympathetic.
Yeah, and we love you around here. We really do. But didn't he say he got over cancer?
No. Moonshock. This second round was better, but Eagle's terminal.
Oh shit! Yeah. Sorry, Eagle. You deserve better from your least professional monkey on the internet.
Believe that is going to be heroin in the veins of Fox News viewers over the next 2 years.
Basically, they're establishing a subcommittee or a committee on witch hunts and deep state.
Okay, first of all, it really annoys me that people don't know how to position a fucking camera.
Me too.
Why are you looking up at it? It looks like he's about to give a blowjob. That's porn angle.
I mean,
it makes his face look extra round and big. It already is pretty big, but for fuck's sake, man, just put it at eye level. I don't want to see your nose hair, and I don't want to look down at your bald spot. Eye level. It's not that fucking hard.
Look, I just want to disagree with my co-host here and say that there are a few women out there who in this position, I would watch them. I'm just saying. The camera down, eyes up, but not him. Not this guy.
No, I mean, look, seriously, that position, first of all, it also makes him look really short compared to that desk. Like, I'm a little kid at my big boy desk. Dad's desk. Yay! What a fucking idiot. Like, who set this camera up? Seriously, that's so annoying. You can tell he did it himself. You see this with, like, beginning YouTubers, too? It's very frustrating to watch.
What's frustrating to me is he's a member of Congress and he's got a $10 Logitech camera.
Yeah. Like, okay, you want to know how to set up a camera so that it's aimed directly at you? Look at Pete's videos on Creepy Little Book. That dude knows how to set up a camera. Right at eye level, he's looking right into it. It's slightly lower, so it's more like aimed at like the bridge of his nose. That's where your camera should be. It's perfectly centered. It looks great. And he talks about weird shit. If he knows more about cameras set up than one of our fucking reps and their crew. Come on, dude. No offense to Pete. Great dude. Great channel. Go subscribe. But if any average YouTuber could figure this out, why can't the people in the media figure this out? Clearly, he's on MSNBC. It's a huge pet peeve of mine. Why does it look like you're a child looking at your parent or a girl about to give head in a cheap porno?
They're establishing a subcommittee or a committee on witch hunts.
I can't believe he actually said that out loud.
Oh, I mean,
I can't believe he didn't get struck by lightning.
Well, look, he's got evidence that you can't see.
Yeah, he can't see it either, by the way.
Yeah, nobody can.
Nobody can see it. It doesn't exist, but he has it.
Maybe the incompetent techs that set up the camera have it in their office closet and they don't know.
Oh, God damn it. I went back too far. Oh, well, fuck it. I'm going to let him go past witch hunt this time.
2 years.
Basically, they're establishing a subcommittee or a committee on witch hunts and deep state conspiracy theories.
No. It's not a conspiracy theory. Stop it. Even in the fucked up way you guys use it, where it's like, oh, conspiracy theory must mean the person's crazy. No, we know this shit is going on. We have the proof. We've seen it with the Twitter files. We know what's going on. They are watching us. They're out there watching for bad words on Twitter, for fuck's sake.
Yeah,
it's not a guess. It's not a conspiracy. It's factual. No, man. The witch hunts and conspiracy theories. That's what it. By the way, I don't know if anybody told Adam Schiff, but he's now Donald Trump because Donald Trump has said witch hunt before.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
that's horrifying. Mick's right. He would know about witch hunts. This dude is the witch finder general.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
Guys, brought to you by you. Hit the like button, hit the rumble button. Tell your friends, your family, I bet you hate. And if you can, donate to Jack or myself. Links to the top of your chat on YouTube.
This is so extraordinarily dangerous. As you said, they're going to actually, these people want to target America's intel community?
Yes. I just want to remind you guys that the leader of the Senate came out and said that if you fuck with the intel community, they will fuck with you. They have 6 ways to Sunday to fuck you over. That is not something that should be a thing. They should have been investigated then, based just off his fucking words. They should have been investigated and probably torn apart when President Kennedy was killed. They should have had the same thing happen repeatedly over time. Waco and Ruby Ridge come to mind, Jack.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Tons of times they should have been really investigated and torn asunder. But no, we can't. Because if we did that, then they wouldn't have ways to get back at people. Schumer said that, right? Yes, it was Schumer. Chucky Schumer, when he was hanging out, actually, he said it twice. The one that's easy to find is when he was on Maddow's show.
Yeah.
This is a body that of the Congress that we are trying to maintain credibility with, and we are not going to do that by opening up all kinds of suspicions about the institutions in our society.
Yes, because government agencies are above scrutiny.
We had 2 congressmen come up here and be like, "Yeah, we can't look into this shit." Your job is oversight on them.
No, they're dangerous, scary places, Monkey.
It's quite literally their job. And they're like, no, we can't. If we look into this, it's going to ruin the whole government. What are you guys hiding? What are you hiding?
What do you think they're hiding?
Look, we know beyond a shadow of a doubt that Adam Schiff that we saw just a little bit ago telling us how bad this would be sent a personal letter, well, it was from his staff, to Twitter because there was a reporter he didn't like and asked them to shut him down.
Yep.
We know it. There's no question. We've seen the letter. You guys wonder why they don't want to shut down the people who are working with them to do the same thing? Oh, we had number 4 in the house over there, Teddy Lou. I wish I could silence people. I wish I could. I wish I could regulate your speech. These are the people who are now bitching that, oh my God, they're going to look into the intel communities. The people, Jack, the FBI, who they were going to send after moms and dads who just wanted their kids not to have sex pushed on them.
Oh, how dare you? You need to go get re-educated.
That's who we're talking about here. All right. But no, that shit never happens. Never happens. It's all made up. If you guys believe in that, it's a figment of your imagination. It's a conspiracy theory. It is a witch hunt.
It's a right-wing talking point.
Jesus fucking Christ, man. These fucking people. I do wonder, because they seem really nervous about this, Jack. Real nervous.
Well, I mean, that they have a lot of friends in scummy areas, apparently.
It's outrageous to tell people the government is spying on them, especially since the government is spying on them. That's confirmed,
right?
By the way. That's
right. It's known. It's not a question. It happened. It's still happening. I guarantee it. There's no way it's ended, Jack. The only question is, who else is involved?
It's a fact. They spied on us. But if you want to know what your government is doing, scolds Joe Scarborough, you're, quote, targeting America's intel community. You're unpaid.
Elf, thank you so much for that sticker. Shit, I don't have the thing up on the right screen. Hang on.
I've never seen that one before.
Holy crap. This chat is way behind. This is how long ago I had this chat open. We got to wait for it to catch up so I can see it. Come on now. Fuck.
America's incel community.
Oh my. Oh, it's a crying hippo. There we go. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it.
He yells epic fail. I've never seen that one.
Epic fail. Oh, he yells it. Okay, at the end. Yeah.
Patriotic. You're a disloyal American if you don't want to be lied to. That's what they're saying out loud on MSNBC tonight. In the past few months, we've learned that for years, Twitter functioned as a mouthpiece for the FBI and the spy agencies.
Yep.
Clearly, the same thing has happened to cable news. And that is a graver threat to our democracy than any group of Trump voters who wandered around the Capitol on January 6th. It's not even.
And see, that's kind of the point I was getting at with the whole press thing, Jack. When they controlled press, when Tay-Tay could go out there and just call her little contact at Twitter and have you shut up, that worked for them.
He means Taylor Lorenz, not Taylor Swift. You do not want Swifties after us.
Look, Tay-Tay, she's adopted it. I can't help it. It's not my fault.
Oh my God, do not get Taylor Swift fans after us. That's like getting K-pop stans.
But when they had control of it, they were fine with it. As soon as they lost control of it, the platform didn't really change. It hasn't changed that much at all. But suddenly it was a problem. And what was the problem? You had a little bit more freedom. That's it. And what was that freedom over? Information. Tay-Tay out there telling me about her long COVID and how you got to wear a mask still. That's not going anywhere. Now, if you went back 6 months, she'd have been riding high, Jack. If you disagreed with her, you could get kicked off.
Even close. But back to our story and the hilariously obvious double standard on the question of classified documents. It was just this summer that NBC's hyperventilating House historian Michael Beschloss suggested that Donald Trump deserved the death penalty for keeping classified documents at Mar-a-Lago, fried like the Rosenbergs in the electric chair. Former CIA Director Michael Hayden agreed. Sounds about right, Hayden wrote, because at this point it's totally normal for.
This is what they wrote about a former president because he had a couple of documents at Mar-a-Lago.
Well, I mean, if they could take out JFK,
he should be executed. Meanwhile, it's the right that are all the bad ones who cause violence. Don't pay any attention to what the left says.
They do righteous violence, monkey.
For CIA directors to fantasize about killing American presidents.
Well, it is on brand.
Yeah.
If we're being honest, I mean, it is on brand for them.
So just for fun today, we reached out to Michael Beschloss to ask what punishment he thinks Joe Biden deserves for keeping classified documents in his office. Of course, Beschloss didn't respond to us. He was too busy applying pancake makeup in his living room for another
You got to stop doing that to me, Tucker. I keep forgetting. I did watch this earlier, Jack, but I keep forgetting all the little digs he gets in at these guys.
Busy applying pancake makeup in his living room for another MSNBC hit. But to be fair, it wasn't just Michael Beschloss who claimed that Trump was endangering America with those documents.
a letter from Kim Jong-un about how nice it was to meet him.
Yeah.
They all said that. Watch.
The seriousness of the potential threat to national security information, I just don't know what.
Remember, it was nuclear secrets. You remember that, Jack?
Oh yeah. It was he had like the nuclear football, because they don't change those codes all the time.
No, he had all the nuclear secrets. It was gonna be all the worst of everything. It's gonna cause blow-ups. Yeah, it was fucking ridiculous the way they talked about this.
To say if he was in
Go ahead, I'm
possession
sorry,
of classified.
Did you see somebody on Twitter posted a CNN clip of somebody saying, "Look, not all these classified documents are the same. It's different."
Oh yeah,
trying to minimize it. The level of disinterest people have in a major event like this right after the big raid, it's astonishing, the hypocrisy.
oh yeah.
National security information, I just don't know what to say.
If he was in possession of classified documents, those are by definition potentially harmful to our national security.
We have a president of the
Potentially. By definition, a classified document is potentially dangerous to our. I don't think that's what it means, sweetie. I'm just gonna go out on a limb. I'm fairly certain that's not the definition.
United States, who has played fast and loose with the national security.
We have a situation.
You think Carl Benson? That's from Woodward and Benson. Bernstein. Carl Bernstein. That's his name. Do you think he's going to say that same kind of stuff about Joe Biden? Plays fast and loose with the rules. You think he's going to say that?
No, because Joe's an innocent fellow from Scranton.
Well, you know what? You know what happened? He was born in Scranton, and those are top secret Scranton documents.
Oh,
yeah. But don't try to read them. They're in Spanish.
Oh,
See what I did there?
I see what you did there.
Look, I'm proud of myself.
Fast and loose with the national security.
We have a situation where what he was doing was dangerous to our national security.
These are really classified.
They don't even know what the documents said.
No, because nobody's told us yet what they are.
But they're all acting like, seriously, like it was the strike coordinates for a planned strike on Russia. Oh my God, it puts everybody in danger. Fucking idiots.
And a really threat to national security.
That really jumps out to me as a national security threat.
This is a national security crisis.
The extreme risk that Trump was willing to take with our national security.
It's almost like they get a script.
It's kind of like all the media companies are owned by like 5 companies.
It really is. I mean, most of the time I see this stuff, these idiots do the same thing. I mean, they say the same thing over and over. I do not understand why we need so many different news sources that literally just parrot each other.
For the appearance of differing ideas.
And I would give it to you if there was like hot women over there. And I don't mean to be sexist here, but that would be a good reason to make me tune into different people saying the same thing.
Oh, no, they got to have the uggos for diversity's sake.
Yeah, there was Fox News when they first came around, they kicked off this thing with hot news women.
Yeah.
And then they started like, oh no, we can't have the hot ones on there. Get the ugly bitches.
They still have a few cuties, like
a few.
Bream.
But they used to have a bunch of them, and now it's like, oh, there's a dried up raisin on my screen.
Yeah, they are getting kind of lefty in their uggo-ness.
Yeah, and this goes for all the channels because I think it was CNN was the one who was most guilty of it. They tried copying what Fox News did and putting hot chicks up on the screen, but they let them talk without a script, and they embarrassed themselves a lot.
Yeah.
Look, get the smart ones. There's smart, beautiful women out there. I promise you.
Yeah, they're on my timeline all the time.
Was Bernstein, formerly the Washington Post, who literally participated in an FBI operation, not guessing, documented, an FBI operation to drive a sitting duly elected president from office. Carl Bernstein participated in that, and he's lecturing us about how, no, we have to keep the secret things secret. So last night we learned that...
Well, again, on brand.
Yeah.
He was part of a secret operation, so he kind of likes the whole secret thing.
Joe Biden, someone with no power to declassify anything when he was vice president, stashed classified documents in the closet of his private office at the very same time he was sending the DOJ after Donald Trump for doing the same thing.
No. See, you're wrong. Thank you, Frank Hubbard, who says, Kaylee, right?
Yeah.
No, you're wrong. Remember, Biden didn't know anything about the whole raid on Mar-a-Lago. That was a complete surprise to him. The AG did not go to the president of the United States and let him know, hey, we are going to go raid the former president of the United States. Does anybody here believe that? Because if you do, I have so many wonderful things to sell you. So many. And none of them are real.
So how exactly are our news media?
By the way, Biden also says he didn't know that these documents were there in his office.
I don't know who put that there. Where am I?
Complete shock to him. Complete shock.
Media going to make sense of this? Well, of course, with maximum shamelessness. Today, CNN trotted out a CIA lawyer called Brian Greer to explain that mishandling classified information is no longer a big deal. In fact, honestly, kids, it happens all the time.
Almost any mishandling case could potentially be shoehorned into a criminal investigation. But going back to my prior point, because this type of mishandling happens all the time, and now it's become such a political football with all three last presidential candidates being investigated, I do worry about, while we need to take this all seriously and it needs to be investigated, I do worry about over-criminalizing it, launching these full...
That's the clip I was just talking about.
Oh, yeah. You got to be careful about over-criminalizing. Look, classified documents ended up on Anthony Weiner's computer. The only way for that to have happened was for them to have gone to his wife, his lesbian wife, who sent them to him. And where does she get them? Oh, that's right. She's lesbian lovers with Miss Clinton.
Allegedly, we are not sad, by the way.
Oh, I'm not sad at all. Huma Dor, whatever her name was. Isn't her name Huma?
Uma Abedin.
Uma. It doesn't have an H there, though?
The H is like a who sound. Huma.
I just think it's funny that her lesbian lover's name is Huma, and her husband used Monica Lewinsky as a humidor. That's called serendipity. Not going with me on that, are you? All right.
Just let that one slide.
Investigations that become political footballs is dangerous because it can disincentivize people from serving in the federal government.
If you make it illegal to have documents that you should not have in places you shouldn't have it, it will disincentivize people from serving in the federal government, Jack.
Oh. How? What?
I don't know. I do not understand how that works.
Maybe it will disincentivize would-be assassins from joining the CIA.
Here's what we should do. I mean, if they are so unimportant, which I believe most of them are, Jack, stop classifying everything.
No, because they don't want to give it to the plebs. Dirty, poor people always asking questions and trying to oversight us. Fuck
you. You little bastards might hear us talk about it and get informed.
Yeah, we don't want that.
But we do want to incentivize them again to do the right thing, which is report it when it happens, and not to do the wrong thing, which is to conceal and obstruct, which is what Trump did.
And Hillary. Don't forget that part.
Shh, he's not
there
sad,
are
monkey.
More than 30,000 missing emails still.
No, Russia has them on a server somewhere.
I'm sure they do. Just in case that bitch decides to run again.
Yeah.
Be like, this will be funny. No, don't sit. I'm tired of this shit. I really am. And the press does this all the time. It's always, if Trump did it, they find a way to make it worse than anything anybody else did.
Well, yeah, because it is, right?
Yeah. Of course it is.
He's the most evil person ever because he beat
He's a
out
horrible,
her turn.
Horrible man. He stopped her from becoming president.
Yeah, it was her turn.
Can you imagine? Oh my God, if she'd gotten to be president and named 3 fucking Supreme Court justices.
I don't want to imagine that nightmare world.
Thank you, Keldrig. In all fairness, Monk, the dementia might make it so Biden isn't lying anymore. He legitimately might not know about the document anymore. His brain might be might be just a little too dead. That is possible. But remember, they tell me he doesn't have dementia.
Yeah.
So they can't have it both ways.
Look, the Easter Bunny tells everybody which way to go. It's just a normal thing. You walk around aimlessly, and the Easter Bunny's like, you need to go over there, dude.
This is something women don't understand because they bitch all the time about how men won't pull over and get directions. Do you see an Easter Bunny around?
Right?
Yeah.
And he's like, and then you always have to be like, thank you, Harvey. Because that's just the way it is. You know, like, oh, thanks, Harvey. I gotta go. Where's the sniffable ones? I gotta recharge.
How many people get the Harvey joke? Give me a 1.
Probably not enough.
Give me a 1 if you get the Harvey joke from right there.
Kind of surprised you got it. That was a black and white one.
I've never seen it, but I am aware of it.
Some of us who've worked in cable news for the past 25 years can affirm it wasn't always the case that every time you flipped on the tube, there was some CIA or NSA or FBI employee telling you what the truth is. Because news organizations used to assume that if someone was paid to lie for the government, they probably weren't a reliable oracle on TV. They probably weren't telling the truth to viewers. But now it's the norm.
It is disturbing how many people who are CIA and NSA and FBI and all of these things now are on cable news constantly. Brennan is one of their favorite people over there at MSNBC. They love that little motherfucker. Is that the Jimmy Stewart film? Is that a Jimmy Stewart film, Jack?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, there you go.
So the CIA lawyer you just saw, Brian Greer, was telling us just a few months ago that Donald Trump, by doing the same thing that Biden did, endangered, quote, national security. The intelligence agencies, Greer said, quote, have no choice but to assume a compromise and take proactive measures to protect our sources and collection capabilities.
I love when Tucker cracks himself up.
Yeah, he's such a dork.
He's such a nerd. Seriously, man, go back to the bow tie.
Yeah, his laugh should always be like,
and get yourself some thick glasses with some tape in the middle just to finish it off.
Yeah, and have a Asian best friend named like Ducky or something.
Yes, but for the record, I mean, this isn't out of the norm. I get what Tucker's saying, that just a decade or so ago, you wouldn't see all these CIA analysts on there, and that's true. But seeing people who had 2 different, versions of events, depending on who the politician was, is not out of the norm. Because these people have a fucking agenda that they learned in college.
State facts.
Which is then like August. Now he's telling you this kind of thing happens all the time. Just calm down, calm down. The rest of the news media has been every bit as brazen. The Washington Post just reported that, quote, the case will likely draw comparisons to Mar-a-Lago, but appears to be quite different. Really? How is it?
I'm pretty sure this is the article I read earlier that I was telling you about.
Yeah.
Quite different. By the way, every news source is telling us there were 10 documents found. How do they know that? Well, of course, they don't know that. They have no idea how many documents were found. They're just taking Biden's lawyer's word for it.
Now, what this goes on to say, I don't remember if he finishes reading. It says, the case will likely draw a comparison to Mar-a-Lago, but it appears quite different. Officials have said the Trump investigation concerns not just the possible mishandling of classified documents, but possible obstruction of justice or destruction of records. Well, here's the thing. You wouldn't know if the record was destroyed because it's gone. Unless you had some other, like a list of documents. If you just took one and burned it, you'd never know.
No, Trump wrote a memorandum. Things I want to burn today. Yeah, this is dumb. it's just Trump derangement syndrome. I actually heard a so-called conservative local DJ talking about this, and he's like, they're totally different things. You won't understand because there's a lot of nuance here. See, Trump, that man's a bully. I'm paraphrasing here, but he was just he was supposedly a conservative, and he's justifying Biden having these things. Like, this is ridiculous.
Have a good night, Ron. Yeah, I mean, like this here, the possible mishandling of classified document. No. It could be obstruction of justice. Well, what would the obstruction of justice be? It would be the National Archives calling up the DOJ and going, they won't give us these documents. That's it. None of these documents are in any way tied to any Trump investigation.
No, the most obvious thing is that Trump thought he declassified them. That's really the crux of the Mar-a-Lago thing, is he thought these were fine because he thought they were declassified. That's his defense. Biden can't present that defense. He has no reason to have these. That's legal.
Yeah.
And that is really where the major difference is Trump could have conceivably declassified everything he had, even the stuff that he did send back to National Archives.
Yep.
But Biden shouldn't have any of this stuff, especially if it's about Burisma or Ukraine.
Yeah. And the other difference is how the press has been treating it.
Yes. Well, obviously.
The tribes have been treating it.
Yeah. Orange Man's bad.
That's not news collection. That's press release writing.
Yep.
But you will see identical articles in Forbes and Business Insider and The Hill, the usual places, all repeating the same scripted talking point.
New York Times.
Now, in one sense, what those outlets are telling you is true. Joe Biden, we learned today, was not holding on to the kind of cocktail napkins found at Mar-a-Lago. He had actual classified information.
Now, this is one of the reasons we're still watching this, is because Tucker kind of gives us some information of what was in there. And it's the first time I'd heard it, so that's why we went with him.
Yeah, and let's face it, all the litigation stuff against him, he's a little more reliable than most outlets.
About a bunch of countries, including Ukraine, from his time as vice president. Why? Why is it always about Ukraine? What is going on in Ukraine?
Money laundering.
Yeah, plus bioweapons research.
Money laundering and buying access to our president.
How much would have bet some of those documents mention Hunter?
Oh, I bet. Well, you know what? Hang on. It doesn't actually mention Hunter in this, but hang on. I have a theory.
Don't talk about the biolabs. What is that? Why the obsession with Ukraine going back long before the Russian invasion of Ukraine, going back many years?
Yeah, it goes back to 2014. And
isn't that when we helped topple their government?
Uh-huh. And it's not because of the invasion of Crimea. It goes back to 2014 when we helped topple their government, and they realized Obama wasn't going to play ball with them and send them weapons, but Joe might.
Yeah.
Buster's Outlaw, thank you so much. Did his mom's low-hanging chest disturb you too? Whose mom's low-hanging chest?
I think that weird picture you had about the chick with the uneven boobs.
Oh, okay.
Well, in this case, it turns out that 3 days before Joe Biden left his job as vice president in January of 2017, the Ukrainians were also a little bit confused about the focus on their country. In mid-January 2017, State Department officials circulated a report from Ukrinform, that's the Ukraine state media organization, and the report said this, and we're quoting, literally on the last days of his term, the U.S. Vice President Joe Biden is going to Kiev. How can we explain this attention to us?
Well, I can explain it, Jack.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. His son got a whole bunch of money he didn't deserve, and it was to buy influence with the then vice president of the United States, who went over there to assure them that he was going to run again. Don't stop yet. Don't stop paying. Believe me, we can still help you out if you still help us out.
That sounds like a conspiracy theory.
Well, it is just a theory right now, but it fits the facts.
But look, your hate facts have no place here. Clearly, this is something improper Trump was doing.
Because of this administration, I'm starting to hate old people. Don't hate old people. Young people are just as dirty in this as old people are. It runs the spectrum.
Yeah, it's safer to hate everybody.
It is, yes. It really is.
So even the Ukrainians were confused. Why is the president of the United States, the world's richest country, spending so much of his life focused on Europe's poorest country, Ukraine? What's going on?
He had to give some assurances because he had placed a bet on running for president and didn't decide to not run until Hillary did in 2016. He had every, they came out and they're like, oh, he's doing it because his son died. No, he wasn't. He didn't step down from the vice presidency because Bo died. They're like, no, we have to do it. Nope. That was all because Hillary ran.
Yeah. If anything, Joe has a history of using death in families as a photo op.
Yep, as a way to get ahead.
Yeah.
So I keep hearing a lighter. Yes, you do.
Well,
yeah, he's doing like the concert thing where he's holding up a lighter and go.
Yeah, I do that anytime I watch Tucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the same moment that Joe Biden was visiting Ukraine as his last official act, his drug-addicted son, Hunter, was still making tens of thousands of dollars a month in a no-show job on the board of Burisma, the largest gas company in Ukraine. Natural gas, something Hunter Biden knew nothing about. Hunter Biden would hold that fake job until 2019. So is there
2019 when his dad was like, yeah, I am going to run for president, for the record.
Is there a connection, just guessing here, between the fact that his son was getting rich from Ukraine for a no-show job and Joe Biden's 2017 trip to Ukraine on Air Force Two at your expense? You think there might be a connection, but so far no one in Washington has thought to really press that point because they're still upset about Trump. They're still talking about Trump and his crimes. Watch Joe Biden.
The right time to start questioning Hunter Biden getting that job was back in 2015 when he got that job. And it's pretty fucked up that nobody really paid much attention to it till about late 2018 when it became apparent that this fucking idiot was going to run for president. But the majority of the press has either not written about it at all or been like, there's nothing to see here. None of them have gone all in. If this was one of Trump's kids who did this, fuck, they went after Trump's kids for a legitimate property purchase and hotel building in Russia. Did you see? Look. That's it's part of what they do. They have operations worldwide.
Punky, it's not legitimate if a Trump does it.
But a meth addict who's been in rehab more times than I've taken a dump, he suddenly gets a job on a board of a gas company he has no business having. The same time he goes over there with his daddy, who is the vice president, and nobody batted a fucking eye. They still aren't. It's nothing to see here. Yeah, would you trust your money with this motherfucker? He can go out there and buy Parmesan cheese with it.
Biden from this past September explained why he supported the DOJ raid on Mar-a-Lago. And here's a hint, because it's, quote, totally irresponsible for government officials to keep classified documents after leaving office.
When you saw the photograph of the top secret documents laid out on the floor at Mar-a-Lago, what did you think to yourself, looking at that image?
How that could possibly happen. How anyone could be that irresponsible.
Oh, irony.
Do you think they're going to have him back on 60 Minutes to ask him about his documents?
Even if they did, he would just be like, oh, I don't know how they got there. Obviously, an intern screwed up. It was some guy from an office in Cincinnati.
Nice
you like
throwback.
that callback?
I did. That was pretty good. No, he's going to get away with it. They were throwing questions. He was meeting with the president of Mexico and blackface up there in Canada today. And he told us, we don't need walls to solve our problems.
Bullets work pretty good, but I don't think they'll let me follow through with my plan.
We should probably start with the wall.
Yeah, and then the landmines.
But anyway, the press started asking questions, shouting him out to him and asking him, hey, what about your documents? And his handlers came and ushered all the press out.
Like they usually do.
For transparency.
Yeah, most transparent government in centuries, monkey.
Ever.
Yeah, it's just you can't be more transparent than this.
The adults are in charge.
Yes, America's back, buddy.
No malarkey.
And I thought, what data was in there that may compromise sources and methods? By that, I mean names of people who helped or et cetera. And it's just totally irresponsible.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. Go ahead.
It's just like the withdrawal from Afghanistan. Totally irresponsible. Wait, no. Sorry.
Like blowing up that family.
Yeah.
No, wait. Sorry.
So they seem like hypocrites. We could play an endless loop of clips like that for the rest of the hour. You get the point, but they're not actually hypocrites. What they're describing is a caste system where they can do what they want, and you are subject to the minutia of their legal code. It's called anarcho-tyranny.
Fact.
But on to more enduring questions, because we know that already. What is this Penn Biden Center?
I get what he's doing there, but I mean, the hypocrisy of it is important. It really is. And as a newsman, that is part of your job. Part of your job too, to point that out. And not to just, we know it's happening. That's such a bad take. I'm sorry. I realize that he's already spent time showing what hypocrites they are. But it just, that was kind of dismissive, and that really annoyed me.
Yeah.
It's not okay that they're this way. And it just kind of came, fuck it. We know they're like that. Well, they shouldn't be.
The Penn Biden Center. What's the purpose of the Penn Biden Center? Well, in April of 2016, one of Hunter Biden's business associates explained the purpose in an email to Hunter. He said that the Penn Biden Center, quote, operates like the Clinton Global Initiative without the money raise.
What? Without the money raised, there is no Clinton Global Initiative. It was a money laundering firm for actually it was a money theft firm for the Clintons.
Well,
not sad.
If you think about it, they don't need to raise money if they get donations.
Fair enough. And take it from the Haitians.
No. I mean, like, let's say hypothetically you need access to something. You donate a big pile of money to a university, you get a building named after you.
Oh, sure.
If you have your own center that looks like it's part of a university, somebody donates a big pile of money and maybe they get a sit down with you.
No.
That way it's not a bribe. It's a donation, and you're just meeting one of the sponsors of your center.
Biden would never do something like that.
No, not at all. Burisma.
Laura Ingraham attacked the Freedom Caucus too. Yeah, I saw that. There were a whole bunch of people who attacked the Freedom Caucus who you should be weary of from now on.
Yeah. We all knew Sean Hannity was a fucking rhino, but Laura Ingraham, that's really disappointing, Lauren.
Yeah, it's okay to believe that, shit needs to change and still be on your side.
Yeah, you can have disagreements within the group. It was only like 2 days. Calm down.
Oh, so all the upside, none of the downside. Without the money raise, really. So you don't have to fly around the world raising money. But as the Washington Free Beacon has reported, actually there was a lot of money being raised, and it was being raised by the University of Pennsylvania, and it was being raised from foreign governments after the Biden Center opened.
See? Donations.
From foreign governments.
What? No, they're just giving to a university, monkey. That's an institute of higher learning. One of our most esteemed things on the planet is educators and the academia. How dare you question their motivations, you monster? The planet's warming too fast to worry about these things.
Connection here, and we're quoting from the piece. Foreign contributions to the University of Pennsylvania tripled since the Penn Biden Center's soft opening in March of 2017, rising from 31 million in 2016 to over 100 million in 2019. Now,
I'm sure that's coincidental.
Totally coincidental.
Totally.
Just like all the documents they aren't releasing.
Where'd all that money come from? Where do you think? The largest foreign contributor was China.
Nuh-uh.
What?
No.
We're loosening restrictions on China? What are you talking about?
And if you go to the webpage for the Penn Biden Center, you get some idea of what that money bought. So on the site, there's a section called, quote, addressing threats to the liberal international order. Russia.
That's not ominous sounding at all.
No, not at all. That sounds like the World Economic Forum.
And Vladimir Putin are mentioned as threats to the liberal international order. But China, which is currently committing genocide, is conspicuously not mentioned as a threat.
You mean committing genocide is not a threat to the liberal international order?
Oh, Monkey, China declared those people a terrorist threat. So that's why all the Uyghurs are in jail. Just because there's no evidence doesn't mean anything.
To the liberal international order. So all of this aroused our suspicions naturally, so we decided to take a closer look at the University of Pennsylvania and its ties to China. We took a look at text messages from Hunter Biden's laptop to see if we could find an answer. And we found messages between a senior professor at Penn's International Relations Department to Naomi Biden, that would be Hunter Biden's very young daughter. The message from the professor begins this way, quote, "Dear Naomi, I'm writing you tonight to invite you to take part in a major conference in China at the end of March. I've been asked to help recruit a prominent young leader. They, the Chinese government."
A prominent young leader who's the granddaughter of the president.
Not anything weird here, or kind of creepy.
"Will fly you business class and, of course, provide all of your accommodations. I don't think it would surprise you they are interested in you thanks to your family name. I would not take offense at that."
No, I would call the Secret Service.
Yeah, I'd be like, there's a national security threat. The Chinese are trying to abduct me.
It is truly the Chinese way. And frankly, better you than that dolt, Tiffany Trump. If you are interested, can you send me your CV and or a bio? I would forward that, and you could expect an official invitation from Li Baodong, the Secretary General of the Forum, end quote. Pretty remarkable. As far as we know, that has not been previously reported. So here you have an employee of the University of Pennsylvania, an Ivy League school, sending an invitation apparently on behalf of the Chinese Communist Party to recruit Joe Biden's granddaughter for an influence operation, saying that she'd be flown to Beijing and stay in Chinese government-controlled accommodations.
Yeah. Okay, so there's really not much more to this other than he goes into a pitch for the rest of his show. Guys, do you see how we've been talking about, the Chinese and their influence here too? Everybody concentrates on that Ukraine one. Don't overlook what the Chinese have been investing in Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Don't forget, Hunter Biden's making a shit ton of money off the Chinese.
The Chinese have been stealing our intellectual property for decades, and nobody has any interest in stopping them or even mentioning it all the time.
Not nobody, because Trump was doing it.
Yeah, well, Orange Man's bad. You can't count him.
Yeah, Trump was absolutely doing it, and he put in place some things to try to help prevent it. He got into the trade war with the Chinese. Remember that? Oh, my God. He's going to cause an international incident. And Joe comes in, and everything that Trump did to try to push back the Chinese, he undid it.
Oh, yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
China really is the current new superpower. Let's be honest. They are running way more of our government than anyone wants to admit to.
All right. Anything else you want to say on the whole Biden documents that he shouldn't have shit?
It's dumb and deserves more press coverage, and I'd love to know what those documents are. Beyond that, there's not much to say at this point that we haven't already said.
I'll say it's better than him showering with his way too old to shower with him daughter, but it's still something that needs looked into.
Yeah, I think both those are equally reprehensible.
Yeah. And there was a lot in that 17-minute segment there that went all over the board, including, Congress going up there and what do they call it? A church committee?
Yeah.
Not like a church where you go worship. No, it's named after a man. I forget his first name, something church. And his committee they had before. And so they're going to have another one where they're going to look into this stuff. And Democrats are like, oh, no. Why? I don't know. They're looking into China, Jack. Chinese influence, Chinese, the Chinese, basically. 18 Democrats voted against it. I didn't get to see a list of who all voted against it, but I'm betting one of them was Swalwell.
Oh, I would guarantee one of them Swalwell.
Remember, Swalwell was put into office by the Chinese.
And
you don't have to like
put
that.
Into a Chinese spy.
Even before the spy got into his office, the Chinese picked people that they thought had a chance of rising in government and supported them.
I was making a penis joke, but
I know you were. But this is an important thing that keeps getting lost in all the fang shit.
Yeah.
The Chinese government put money into getting people elected in our government.
Yeah, and we can't even get our government officials to ban TikTok, which is grabbing geolocation and phone information from young people in our country.
Nothing to see here with the Chinese, Jack. But shall we move along?
Sure.
All right. I don't remember if I have anything other than pissing off AOC fans on Twitter, which was just funny as shit. Follow my cousin on Twitter if you'd like to see that. His handle's Angry Monkey 422 over there. Recently got his blue check. Good for him.
Yeah, yay.
I'll be honest, I was a little worried that he was never going to get it.
Yeah, I understand that.
For those of you like, well, why would anybody pay for free Twitter? Here's why. Because part of what Twitter did with Twitter Blue when Elon came in is that if you don't have the blue check mark and you respond to things, your response is almost treated like you're a bot. It is deprioritized. And as somebody who makes their living with social media, being deprioritized is not a good thing. And $8 a month for the exposure is kind of worth it. So that's why. Plus, now I have that blue little check mark and I feel so cool.
It's the Twitter equivalent of smoking in the 80s.
It really is. It really is. Smoking in the Twitter room. All right. Ashley Babbitt's mom is the epitome of white privilege, according to Herbert Dyer Jr., who's apparently a retard.
I'll let you guess who sent us this one.
Yeah, I can tell this is a medium. Thank you, Frosted, for the contribution. Apparently we have a retard theme going on tonight.
It does seem that way. Not Frosted.
Monkeys pay to play confirmed. Yep. Look, it's just how it has to be. They gave you a blue check mark, but won't give you Ranting Monkey back. They won't give me Ranting Monkey back, and they gave my cousin a blue check mark. Sometimes I talk about it's like we're the same person, but it's just we grew up together, and sometimes it feels like we're the same person.
It's like twins with the Unimind.
But you can look it up. We have different birthdays. You can see that on Twitter.
Yeah.
And if you read it on the internet, it's true. Her protest and arrest on January 6th anniversary is an ominous sign of things to come. I don't know why protest and things are in quotations there.
I don't know. Those are offensive words. Who fucking knows? You can't keep up with this nonsense.
She was protesting the fact that her daughter had been killed and nobody was giving a shit. Meanwhile, they were literally giving respect and what's the word I'm looking for here? Memorializing somebody who did not die on January 6th. You can't even tie it to January 6th. He was killed on April 2nd when a pissed off Muslim ran him over with his car. You can't blame that on January 6th. You can't be like, well, if he hadn't have been to January 6th, he would have been able to duck out of the way quicker. It's fucking retarded. Still surprised Elon's Twitter hasn't unbanned Monkey yet. Oh, we see. Here's the thing. Monkey was banned for pissing off Ukrainian supporters, and there's still a ton of Ukrainian supporters all over our country. And yes, Eagle, it was on April 2nd. I looked it up. He died on April 2nd. He was run over by a pissed off Muslim. And they had his family go up there on the January 6th memorial.
Yeah.
Had his two little kids say his name at the microphone.
That's despicable.
It really is. It's grotesque.
Yeah. For some reason, people like trotting out kids at bizarrely political events, whether it's wildly inappropriate. It's bad enough they take their kids to drag shows, but then you're bringing these poor kids out who lost their dad to say his name at an event where it's commemorating something that did not kill him.
Yep.
Yeah, it's vile. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Did you see Sicknick's family? Well, his partner is what they say. His partner is suing somebody for Trump, I believe it is, for January 6th and Sicknick being killed.
Why? He didn't die from that. He died from a stroke. Well, he had 2 strokes, technically, I think.
He's apparently being sued for wrongful death.
For what? Some guy having like a possibly pre-existing condition?
It's going to be interesting to see you prove wrongful death when there's no indication that he was killed from anything other than his own body.
Yeah, what this is going to end up happening is they're going to lose the lawsuit and end up having to pay Trump's legal fees.
Yep.
And then they'll run out and bitch about it. Like, look what he's doing to us. He's such a meanie pants.
Oh, I didn't know that, Devil's Advocate. He says former girlfriend, they broke up before this even happened. That makes sense.
Yeah, this is fishing for cash.
You know what?
Thanks for dropping the links, Bubba Hotep. Also,
real quick, I read Sicknick's name after this happened. I feel like I should be able to sue Donald Trump for that.
I feel like I should be able to sue his family for giving him a name like Sicknick.
Yeah, should have changed it.
Yeah, Smith works out really well when you come into Ellis Island. Also, thank you, Keldrake. In your line of work, every night has a retard theme. It does seem that way, doesn't it?
At the exact same moment that President Biden was conducting an awards ceremony at the White House for a group of citizens who stood in the gap against the January 6, 2020, mostly white domestic terrorists and insurrectionists, Ashley Babbitt's mother was busy getting herself arrested just down the street. Homie, you don't need to make your paragraphs all one sentence.
You don't know me.
I know English.
Do you? Because this is decolonizing the English paragraph hetero cis normative paradigm or something. I really feel bad for people with kids in public school right now.
Me too. Mickey Whithoff was protesting what? For real?
Probably somebody shooting her kid.
That her daughter and her friends had failed to violently overthrow the U.S. government. No. Probably her getting shot. It's all on camera and nothing happening to the guy who shot her.
No, the guy that left his gun in a bathroom multiple times.
That in the process, her child was shot and killed by duly authorized security personnel specifically tasked with and sworn to protect the U.S. Capitol building and all those within it. The woman, Whithoff's daughter, Ashley, tried to enter into the House of Representatives through a busted window. Well, she was already in the House of Representatives. She was trying to get further in. Biden went deep during the award ceremony. It sounds weird to call it an award ceremony. It was a memorial ceremony. He talked about the cops who were beaten and speared by flagpole, flying white supremacists, many wielding giant Trump 2020, Confederate battle banners, and even the American flag itself. Wow, you did not write that sentence very well at all.
That's medium, dude. There's no requirement for grammar or structure. They're not going to diagram a sentence.
he mentioned the chemical warfare used against the cops, pepper and bear spray.
You mean what the cops also use against protesters?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Like Keldrick just said, that's not poisoning the well at all.
Don't forget they also used their little CS gas, their little canister. Yeah, and flashbangs. Oddly, Ashley's the only one who got shot that day. Ashley is going through a window and gets shot. These people who were actually using flagpoles to spear these guys never got shot.
Yeah.
The ones who threw a fire, I said fire hydrant, whoops, or I was going to say it, fire extinguisher at a cop's head didn't. The ones who were actually grabbing cops and trying to pull them out of the safety of the other cops, they didn't get shot.
Well, to be fair, some of those were feds, so.
No. The cop's blood, not Ashley Babbitt's blood. Well, her blood is inside.
Well, not anymore. It's
no, but it was that day. Yeah. He condemned the racist battle cries emanating from rioters, folks who have previously and constantly dared to declare themselves pro-law enforcement, even as they overran police and hunted, for lawmakers.
I'm hunting wabbits. Ha!
Oh my God.
That was the worst hunting in history.
Finally, Biden acknowledged that this could happen again. The video below pretty much says and depicts everything I'd planned to write about the arrest of Miss Whitehoff, Ashley Babbitt's mother. Well, then why didn't you just play the video?
Because it's, first of all, this was obviously a publicity stunt. She wanted to get arrested. She even turned around and put her hands behind their back, even though they were fairly nicely telling them to get the fuck out of the street. Way nicer than I would have been. They're like, look, take it to the sidewalk. It was a publicity stunt, and I get that. I don't really care that she spent the night in jail. It's a protest. That's what people do. But they're not going to actually do anything to hurt this woman knowing who she is. All these cops knew who she was. They didn't really want to do this, I don't think, because they knew how it'd look. But this is the most disingenuous fucking article.
However, our narrator mentions that Congress reigning drama queen Marjorie Taylor Greene, and who is perhaps the loudest and most disgusting supporter of the insurrectionist, save Trump himself, that Greene is also an open and obvious white supremacist, white racist. When you have to say her name a second time in the sentence, you didn't write it well.
It fills space. My teacher said I had to have so many words.
See, I am more offended by how poorly that is written than by what it says. I mean, look, we've heard the whole narrative of racism and all that shit before, so that's not shocking in any way. But that is like piss poor written.
What are you, a grammar teacher?
No, I suck at English, and even I can see how badly it's written.
There's the key word, English, which is a patriarchal, colonialist language. You're using the language of colonialism. Clearly, this was translated from a superior, peace-loving native language.
Probably. Now, back to the question that Tucker asked. Why was Ukraine so much on Biden's mind?
Also, as was briefly...
By the way, I think this is loud. Yeah, it's as loud as it can get.
Hey, real quick, let me grab this. Thank you, Evolved Potato. Am I the only one that remembers Ashley Babbitt was trying to go through that window because she was escaping from some violence on the other side? Because I remember it being brought up then, hidden immediately because it went against the narrative. Yeah, there was some kind of scuffle or something going on because there were cops nearby where she was. They were behind her. So this guy shooting through the window like that put a lot of people's lives in danger, including his own team.
I don't remember it that way, that she was trying to escape violence. They were trying to get through that window. There was stuff going on the stairs there. The police were right there on the stairs because we even mentioned how irresponsible it was to take that shot with so many people behind there, including police officers.
Yeah.
All right. This is just an update on some stuff we talked about before.
Also, as was briefly highlighted last week during the announcement of the most recent presidential drawdown authorization, I can confirm that training for Ukrainian forces on the Patriot air defense system will begin as soon as next week at Fort Sill, Oklahoma. The training will prepare approximately 90 to 100 Ukrainian soldiers to operate, maintain, and sustain the defensive system over a training course expected to last several months. And once fielded, the Patriot will continue to contribute to Ukraine's air defense capabilities and provide another capability to the Ukrainian people to defend themselves against Russia's ongoing aerial assaults. We'll be sure to provide additional information as it becomes available.
So dragging some Ukrainians over here to teach them how to use the Patriot missile system. Sure, that's what we're going to do. We're totally not going to send people on the ground over there with them, Jack.
No, why would we do that? Oh my God, that'd be an escalation.
Yeah.
Remember that Russia said if we get Patriot missile batteries over there, they will consider us an active participant.
Because we are an active participant.
Yeah, at that point, we absolutely are. Plus, and then it was decided that, yeah, we're actually going to do this. And then we're going to give them some Bradleys, too.
Oh, yeah, don't forget those. Well, I mean, I'm sure that they know how to operate those.
Yeah, I mean, why would we need people over there? We'll send some advisors, like a few thousand of them.
Yeah,
it's not boots on the ground, monkey.
Never going to have boots on the ground besides the ones that are already there and the ones we're going to send later.
Yeah, yeah, and some peacekeeping forces to help with like riots and stuff. And if they happen to get killed by some Russians, well, that would be horrible because that would be the Russians attacking the United States. They're actively trying to get us involved in this war, and they continue to do so. It's disgusting because it's totally avoidable. It's none of our fucking business, but they're going to drag us kicking and screaming into a war with the Russians.
Yeah, I don't care about the Russians. Fuck them. We should not be involved in this at all. And if we are going to be involved, you know what, Jack, send them a couple of bullets, but leave us the fuck out of it. Do not get us pulled further into this thing. And for fuck's sake, when they said, hey, if you give them these, we're going to consider that an act of war on your part, don't fucking do it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I have a real problem with this because they have caught Russians at the southern border, which is very porous. We've depleted a lot of our military equipment, which, let's face it, we can't replace some of those missiles till those chips come back online. This puts us in a really bad position, but it does help China. So if we go into a war with Russia, you know who benefits the most? The Chinese.
Oh, I don't mean to change topics suddenly. We're gonna get to the meat story here in a second, but Marisha, is that how you say that? Says they said leave that poor man alone, referring to Ray Epps, and that came from a Democrat. Did you see the stuff that has come out about Ray Epps' testimony to the January 6th committee?
About how he orchestrated it?
But no, how he lied his fucking ass off when he was in there.
Oh, no, but I'm not surprised.
No. He does not remember at all people chanting "fed" at him on the night of the 5th. And neither does his son. So that's probably a deep fake is what happened there.
Oh, yeah, clearly. Even though we saw that live because Bacon Alaska was streaming that.
This punk ass motherfucker, like, no, that never happened. That's a deep fake. Oh yeah, there's some dirty shit.
He's an innocent man. He's a good boy. Didn't do nothing.
You know what? I think I have a video that I can toss into chat. We won't watch it right now. We have a couple of videos to still watch. We'll do the meat story, and then we're going to watch the 2 videos, and then we'll get back to whatever stories we can. But I'm fairly certain my cousin retweeted this one, and it's an important one. It was over on the Glenn Beck show. I haven't got to read the testimony myself. Where's that at? Shit. I don't know where it's at. I'll have to find it another time. But anyway, let's do the meat.
The meat.
This keeps happening. And not just to this guy. Suspect caught with suitcase full of meat, arrested for the 70th time, according to police. This guy made it all the way up to Ohio?
Yeah. I want to thank Shio for sending me this one because the smuggling meat stuff is weird.
Well, I don't know if this guy came across the southern border, but I do know we have a big problem with Mexican bologna.
Yes. This is not that. This is something
See?
else. But
Ham and Beans just asked, is it Mexican bologna? Right? No, they have a picture of the suitcase full of meat right there. It looks like we got some hamburger. Isn't that Walmart hamburger?
Yeah, it's stolen meat. Mexican bologna. It's funny because we talked about that 2 or 3 years ago, and I don't think either of us had really heard of that too much. Like people get caught with food, but I was watching one of those To Catch a Smuggler shows, and somebody was sneaking in Mexican bologna.
Yeah, I've seen like a dozen stories on Mexican bologna. I don't know what it is with that stuff, but apparently the Mexicans really like it and they can't live without it, so we keep smuggling it in.
Yeah, why would you want
I don't know,
made
man.
in
Look,
Mexico? That's probably cartel bodies.
As a fan of bologna, I kind of want to taste it.
I think you would probably get very sick off of it because it's made out of like the people opposed to the cartels and rat parts.
I'd get the hunger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be going all Wendigo on us. I like the human flesh.
A Garfield Heights man was arrested last week after investigators say he stole a shopping cart full of packaged meat to resell at restaurants. Are restaurants just buying random meat from a dude who brings it in a suitcase?
Maybe.
Jesus fucking Christ.
No, suitcase meat is best meat.
I would be at this point. I'm seriously more concerned about the restaurants in Garfield Heights.
I am not saying Bologna.
Bologna.
No, it's bologna.
It's bologna. Yeah, we all know.
Yeah. Dangerous asked if you knew the context of the clip from Glenn Beck. He's going to look it up for you.
The context, he has a guy on who's explaining the Ray Epps testimony. And I don't think Glenn Beck's name was mentioned in the tweet. Look up Ray Epps, if you would. Thank you so much for it, bud. According to South Euclid, Police Department, Walmart. See, yeah, I know the Walmart packaging.
It's sad,
Walmart.
It's sad.
It's the same packaging from when I worked there, and I shop at Walmart.
It's probably the same meat from when you worked there.
Walmart reported a shoplifter who pushed a shopping cart full of various packaged meats and a suitcase out of the store without paying. Investigators say the suspect then filled the suitcase with the stolen meat. Anything that couldn't fit in the suitcase was thrown in the dumpster. Well, that's a waste. Shouldn't he know how big his suitcase is before he even starts?
Well, maybe he was looking for a variety pack or taking orders over the phone. Like, what do you want? And then, like any good drug dealer, he was hiding his stash in a dumpster so he could be directly linked to him.
He should have got a bigger suitcase because that's just a 5-pound roll, and they make like a 10-pound roll if I remember correctly.
Yeah, look, the 10-pound rolls are harder to move. Some restaurants are really particular. Like the 10-pound looks suspicious, man. Just give me a 5.
The suspect, 62, told officers that he sells stolen meat to restaurants at half price. The man didn't name the restaurants. Look, before anything else, I want to know what restaurants those are. If somebody comes into your restaurant to sell you meat out of a fucking suitcase, even if you can identify it as Walmart meat, you tell them to go to fuck away. You're going to get somebody sick and killed, and then you're going to lose everything anyway. You're going to get some fucking salmonella up in that bitch.
You don't know. You've never had. Maybe that suitcase seals in the flavor.
It might seal in the flavor, but it don't seal out the bugs and nasties.
Look, your hate facts have no place here. You and chat, man, are full of hate facts today. I'd be willing to bet that any restaurant buying this has a bunch of illegals working in the kitchen.
Probably. Which, by the way, that shouldn't happen either. All right. I think I want to go to the Chicky Poo who just can't get her shit together. Yeah, we'll do this and then we'll do the crazy one and then we'll call it a night. All right. Because I do want to go play Phasmophobia tonight.
Ah, yes.
Bubba, you awake?
He's in chat earlier.
Awake. All right. Here we have Bell Rebel. That's what that says right there. I'm pretty sure. Belle Rebel, whose eyebrows disturbed me. They actually kind of disgust me, if I'm being honest. But Belle has some problems in life, Jack.
Being a soulless ginger witch, being among them. I'm sorry, correction. She could be a vampire. Not all of them are witches.
Maybe she's not a ginger. She doesn't have the freckles.
No,
so she's a day walker.
That's a glamour spell.
She's a day walker like I am.
Hiding the gingers.
All right, Gingy, let's hear your problems.
Y'all, tell me why. Just why am I still living paycheck to paycheck? Why?
Because you suck with money.
You're bad with money. You have a low-end job, unskilled labor, and you probably didn't go into a STEM field. Same as all of us, honey.
Nope, it's not all that, Jack. She's just bad with money. Now, look, I wouldn't say that to everybody because some people, if you're only making what is Biden's number, 70,000 a year. He loves that number for some reason.
Yeah.
And you have a family, that can be rough. That can be paycheck to paycheck, especially these days. But we're going to find out how much she makes. I've already spoiled it earlier.
Why? My job pays like a decent amount of money, like very median, very average, but like I should be able to live on this. This is a good salary. Not anymore, bitch.
I love how she did the air quotes with a good salary. Like it either is or it ain't, baby. Thank you, Frosted Glass. I like to play hide the ginger as well. All right.
Sometimes in a trunk, sometimes in a big suitcase, sometimes in a duffel bag. Hide the ginger.
She's got these fucked up eyebrows and a damn nose ring. Otherwise, she could be cute.
Yeah, are those eyebrows a marker or is that a tattoo?
It's a marker kind of thing that these women do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. Women, please, for the love of all that is holy, listen to me. Don't do this. Don't do it yourselves. It looks stupid. It doesn't look pretty. It looks dumb. I have never seen anybody with that drawn on eyebrow like that and it not absolutely ruined whatever face it was on.
Yeah, like she could be pretty, not hot, but pretty. But yeah, that eyebrow thing is really distracting. That's something women tell other women looks good.
Jesus, stop doing that shit.
Not anymore. Like I've started to dread going to the grocery store to buy fucking tinfoil because off-brand weak-ass tinfoil is like $10.
That off-brand weak-ass tinfoil. I love the description.
Yeah, that does describe a lot of off-brand tinfoil, but you could go to the dollar store and get that for $1.25.
Yeah.
I saw an 18-pack of eggs for $13.
There's a run on. Okay, she does have a couple of. I stand corrected. She does have freckles.
Yes.
Oh, you can't hide that with that makeup, baby. I can see them.
Those spells wear off. Glamour spells only last for so long.
We just need to cover this, and I'm not covering for Joe Biden here. All right. The price of eggs is not because of everything else with inflation. That might be part of it. But the biggest problem is we had to kill a bunch of chickens, okay? Please get this through your head, guys. And the more you guys all go running to try to get eggs, the higher the price is going to be because demand is way outweighing supply because we killed a bunch of chickens. Just wait a few months. Wait a little bit. We'll have more chickens. It'll be okay. Relax. We covered it, Jack. Remember those girls were gluing themselves to the floor of the basketball arena because they had to kill chickens.
Yeah. The basketball arena wasn't killing chickens.
No. But the guy who owned the team has something to do with the chicken farms.
Something ridiculously obscene like that. Like that dude doesn't have any direct influence on killing sick chickens.
Yeah. The whole chicken thing is because we had to kill a bunch of them because of disease. That's it. All right. By the way, this chick is really worried about eggs.
I walked in to the Walmart like a few days ago. I bought.
She says that shit like she's offended that she had to go to Walmart. So fuck right off, lady.
I'm kind of offended when I have to go to Walmart.
Look, I like Walmart. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Some of their food is probably not the best. Do not buy your produce there unless you have to. Meat is iffy. But everything else, like all of your box stuff and shit, your cans and shit, there's no reason not to buy it at Walmart. Plus, you can get yourself a nice sweater while you're there.
There's that.
And they have the underwear I like to buy. I'm just saying. Give me my Hanes. That's what I'm saying.
Hanes her way?
No, I wear Hanes boxer briefs.
Yeah.
So you ladies out there were trying to imagine. There you go. My favorite color is red.
Standard necessities. Ziploc bags. Tin foil. Eggs. Some fucking lentil pasta because I can't eat the real stuff and that has good protein in it.
I can't eat the real stuff. How much you want to bet to this bitch? What is it? Where you can't have the flour? Fuck. What's the disease where you can't eat flour? Can't wear flour? Whoops.
I don't know.
I know you've heard of it. Gluten. Thank you. She's got the celiac disease. She can't have the gluten.
She's got the celiac disease.
The celiac disease.
It's the fibro being a pussy. Nice.
Look, the whole gluten thing, it is the fibromyalgia of eating. And it is amazing the number of things that you will find gluten-free on.
Yeah.
And it should disturb you more that they have to put it on there in the first place. Like, it's a tomato. Why does it say gluten-free? There shouldn't be gluten in a tomato.
I went to Wendy's the other day and they had a sign saying that their food is prepared in a place where milk is because of the Frosties.
Yeah.
Like, really, you have to tell people that? Are they that fucking dumb that they don't know that you have milk products nearby?
Yeah. The whole, I've seen bottled water with gluten free. Yeah, it's amazing how much shit they put it on. You know why? Because people are fucking retarded and be like, oh my God, I'm gluten allergic because I saw it on Dr. Phil one day. I never went to a doctor to actually be diagnosed. I got the celiac disease. No, fuck off. You're a hypochondriac. Stop eating lentil pasta, you fucking weirdo. Eat the real shit that the Chinese gave us.
Also, I went to Panda Express, I don't know, like a week ago, and I got some Kung Pao chicken, which was delicious. But they're like, it's spicy and has peanuts in it. Is that okay? I was like,
No.
yeah, that's why I want it. All right.
You should have told them no, you need it without it.
I'm gonna need you to hold all the spice and the peanuts, but I want the same thing. Oh,
Tell
you
me
don't
you
do
want
that, you bigots.
You need to have it all on the side because you can only have so much before you become allergic.
Yeah. Could you have a cat brush up against the side of the box too?
Frosted Glass, thank you so much. Don't trust the gluten-free meat. I know a guy. It's such nonsense. It really is. Look, there are people that really do have it. People are telling me I'm pronouncing it wrong. I don't give a fuck. There are people who really have it. It's just like the peanut allergy. There are people that have peanut allergies. And then there's a whole bunch of people who are just hypochondriacs.
Yeah.
Tons of them.
Well, and they've spread that to the kids too, because it used to be when we were kids, if somebody had a peanut allergy, the parents would like slowly expose them to peanuts, so they like little bits, so they would get like a bit of
tolerance.
a resistance. Yeah. But now it's like, no, you must alienate everybody from peanuts for my baby.
I never even heard of peanut allergies until I was an adult.
Yeah,
I think I was in my 20s. Not a single fucking kid in any of the schools I went to, and I went to a lot of schools. I went to how many schools did I go to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I went to 10 schools, Jack.
Peanut butter sandwiches. Yeah.
To 10 schools. And it's not like if you guys were in the same city. No. I went to schools all over the fucking country. Not a single fucking kid had a peanut allergy. Not one.
There was one kid in my Boy Scout troop who had a peanut allergy, and I watched him eat goobers, which are chocolate-covered peanuts, for those that don't know. And he ate like a fistful of them. He's like, these are delicious. What are these? It's like, they're goobers. What's in them? Chocolate and peanuts. I can't eat peanuts.
It's look, you got to be careful with the kids who do have these problems, but you got to stop fucking just ruining people.
Yeah. Making people into terrified oh, well, that's the plan, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Froggy wants to know if Froggy can go ghost hunting.
We can try it out. It's going to depend on how the sound is, sweetie. If the sound works, by all means. But if we have we'll bring you in on the first one. But if the sound goes out, we'll have to go back down to 2. All right, let's get back to Egg Lady here.
A singular pound of ground beef, milk, eggs, cheese. Tell me why I walked out of there having spent $70. 70. 70.
Who do you think punched her in the eye? That is a bruise across her nose and eye right there. Huh. Somebody smacked this bitch. Do you think it was one of the Walmart workers?
Maybe. Maybe she walked into a door, if you know what I'm saying.
She probably walked into a door.
$70. I'd love to have $70 to go shopping at Walmart. Fucking hell, man. Must be nice.
Partner and I make $120,000 combined.
Partner. Uh-oh. Lesbian. We know who gave her that bruise.
Oh, no. Well, yeah. But a lot of times when people say partner, they just mean boyfriend or husband now.
I'm so sick of that shit.
It's the look at me. I'm one of the LGBTQ adjacent people. Because he identifies as pansexual, even though he's only plowing me.
This has been some shit they were trying to change since you and I were kids, where you'd have these women like, it sounds so stupid to call him my boyfriend. Well, we all know what you mean. Shut the fuck up and call him your boyfriend. Partner? Sounds like you went into business together, dumbass. Did you see the state of Michigan is getting rid of the term field worker for government entities? Because, you like out in the field, that's one of our field workers. They have to get rid of it because it's racially insensitive.
What?
Because only ever slaves worked in fields.
Or people's kids.
Nah. It only slaves ever worked in fields, yo. That's the world we inhabit, yo.
$120,000. That's good. That should be okay.
Yep.
Like, we should be set.
Yeah, the problem is you're bad with your money, dummy.
Apparently.
Scarfy, thank you. She might have just stopped by at a Waffle House. I mean, maybe. I think her girlfriend slugged her. That's why she was buying meat to put on that black eye.
A lot of work and effort and resume building and all the good stuff to get here. Why are we both living paycheck to fucking paycheck?
Because
you order a lot of DoorDash.
You're both bad at spending money and saving money. You're both bad at it. That's why.
Yeah, how are you not saving money? Like, what city do you live in? How expensive is your housing? Because there's no reason you shouldn't be making that kind of cash and banking a significant portion of it.
Take a look at her. She's got lots of her little jangles on. She's got tattoos on her chest there. Her hair has been done professionally. She is a high maintenance woman.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's why she ain't got no money.
She's high maintenance. She probably hits all the markers for the sign. Shame, insults, guilt need to be right. But she probably also gets those eyebrows professionally put on with a marker.
Oh, yeah.
And I bet that's an expensive vehicle she's driving.
This is not sustainable.
Those are professionally done eyelashes added on. Oh, does she have a ring in her mouth too?
Tongue
How are
stud.
people?
What's that?
A tongue stud, yeah.
How are people going to find a place to live? How are we supposed to continue to eat? Like, forget about me.
Stop with the eggs, apparently. What do you think is going to go bad faster, the eggs in her fridge or the eggs in her body?
I think it's a race to the finish line.
Because we're still living. We're kind of making it. Like, it's not as horrible as it could be. But what about these young kids trying to start a life, trying to get out of their parents' house and be independent adults, and they can't.
They can't.
They can't.
Because of eggs.
Paying for college has become a joke. Requirements for y'all.
All right. So that's Miss Eggy.
It's amazing to watch people like this pleading poverty. They have no idea what poverty is.
Oh, no. None at all. How can I survive? Okay, what is this? This is her TikTok. She describes it as humorous observations of life. That was not humor. Do you think she was going for humor there?
I think she thinks she's funny because all her little lady friends are like, "Oh, you're so funny. You're the funny one in the book club." And she's like, "I know." Look, I'd have sex with her, but I'd give her a fake name.
Oh, yeah. And you'd have to lie to her and tell her you were trans, because that is definitely a lesbian, I'm telling you.
I don't care either way, but because I'm having sex with her. But
I do, because we need to stop the chick on chick crime.
I'm more worried about Matt Jarbo catching a charge. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't care if he does or not. Okay, I'm looking at her page. None of this shit looks funny, and what I've clicked on, none of it is. She does have a picture up there, a video up there where she has less makeup on, and she got a shit ton of freckles. She puts a ton of makeup on there, bitch. You could probably stop living paycheck to paycheck with just the foundation you put on. Just stop buying that shit. But then people on the TikTok won't think I'm hot. They'll think I look like a normal person. I have to look like an influencer.
Ugh. Scribe posted a photo of somebody the other day that was trying that shit. I don't know. It might have been a TikTok video or something, but she had so much makeup on that Photoshop done that she looked like Odo from Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Oh,
and I couldn't unsee it once I saw it, and it was haunting.
Well, remember when Britney Spears told us that hers weren't done and you could see the bricks and shit were all warped?
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of too much makeup on.
Oh, hey, before you start this, check out the last link while this is playing. So, because Dangerous thought he found the clip and he wanted to make sure.
I know it was Posobiec who had done it. Yep, that's the one.
Okay. Yeah, that's the clip. Thanks, Dangerous.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're going to end on a clown show. Go.
Blessed are the trans. Blessed are the high femmes. Blessed are the sex workers.
What? Blessed are the hoes?
Yeah. Thank you, Hammond. That was Amaranth.
Amaranth?
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. You said it's on Scribbles?
Yeah, it was a couple days ago.
Yeah, check it out. He doesn't tweet all that much. It'd be easy to find.
Yeah.
Blessed are the authentic. Blessed are the disidentifiers. Blessed are the
fuck is a disidentifier?
They're probably like those quirky people that just don't fit in. I don't identify as anything.
So now we have people who identify and disidentify. Fuck off.
Blessed are the gender illusionists.
Blessed are mirrors, motherfucker. Find one.
The gender illusionists. You think you have a penis, but you really have a vagina. Oh my gosh, it looks like I have a vagina. What?
I'm gonna make this rabbit disappear. All right. I get it. You're weird, and you're good with all the weirdness. All right.
Blessed are the non-normative. Blessed are the genderqueers. Blessed are the kinksters. Blessed are the disabled.
Oh, thank you. That's awesome. I appreciate it. I'm blessed, Jack.
Oh.
I'm blessed. You're not. How you like me now?
A little jealous.
Yes, it's nice to have an identity besides being just a cis white man. Heterosexual at that.
Blessed are the...
Guy sounds like he touches children. Did you see him? Because he looks like he touches children. Would you ever leave your child with somebody who looked like this?
No.
Thank you, Scarfy, who says, welcome to the kingdoms of Sodom and Gomorrah. Indeed.
Oh, shit.
Blessed are the hot, fat girls.
That's not a thing.
How fat? Well, see, you and I would disagree on this, but how fat? I mean, if you're talking Tess Holiday fat, they ain't one. They just ain't.
Blessed are the weirdo queers. Blessed is...
Queer means weirdo. Queer really means weird. Blessed are the queers, the weird weirds.
Yeah, it's like being for real.
A weird queer would be a normal person. Thank you, Comrade Kitty. Wait, Monk, you're a trans woman lesbian, I thought. Well, there's that too. I mean, that's part of my identity. Don't dismiss my identity. All right, come on, dipshit.
Weirdo queers. Blessed is the spectrum. Blessed is consent. Blessed is respect.
He's just saying blessed in front of other words, right?
Yeah, I think he's just got like it's like a mantra, you know, you just go through the list and say it over and over again because it will help your chi or something. I don't fucking know.
He got woke word of the day toilet paper and just put blessed in front of each sheet.
You know, that really once surprised me. I know you're joking, but
I am going to make woke toilet paper. That would be awesome.
Was it just an empty package or?
Yes.
Blessed are the beloved who I didn't describe, couldn't describe, will learn to describe and respect and love. This was the Litanies for My Heavenly Brown Body by Mark Agahua.
Mark Agahua, fuck off. You're stupid and you're just trying to suck up to people. And I hate people like you who do that shit because you're just saying things to try to get pats on the back. So people go, you are so smart and you are so loving. Fuck you. You're an asshole. I'm just saying. Jack, on that note, we need to wrap this show up. I know we had several articles we didn't get to, but it's like 2.5 hours in.
Yeah.
I gotta start getting shorter videos to make sure we got time. Godzilla, thank you so very much. Blessed, I will never hear him say blessed again. Don't make me play it again just to tell you you're wrong. But thank you for that. I appreciate it. Guys, thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for the shares, the likes, and all of that stuff, the rumbles. You guys are amazing, and we appreciate you coming out night after night. Jack, anything you want to show?
I'll drop some links to some videos. The first one will be the stream I did yesterday. And thank you all for coming out, and thank you for all the new subscribers that came over and gave me a follow or whatever you call that. And thank you all for the donations. You guys are so awesome. It's greatly appreciated, and you're all very beautiful people. Thank you.
Going to be on twitch.tv/ranting monkey. I should change my name to Bumbling Monkey.
No, you'd fuck that up too.
Twitch.tv/ranting monkey. In just a little bit, playing Phasmophobia with my boy, the hobo himself, ex-Bubba Hotep. We'll be over there in just a little bit. Thank you guys for coming to hang out. Jack, a pleasure as always.
Always glad to be here.
Everyone, have a good night. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye, everybody.
This is the Shong. No, it's not a Shong. That was a little close to Schlong.
I I think you were trying to do that in stereotype voice. This is the song for my shitty wall.
This is the song at the end of the show. It's not about my dick. Whose it is, we'll never know.